this because my full-time job is very similar than to what you're doing in terms of entrepreneurial. So
yeah, right on.
So what we should connect later. I think that'd be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, totally.
Sean, are you pairing anything up tonight, or are you just straight smoking?
You know what? I was going to, and I kind of emptied the bottle last night. So, no, I thought I'd do this without. I was actually thinking about it on the way home. I just couldn't. I didn't know anything about this stick, so I didn't want to just blindly connect something. So
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, we are live, man. We are live. We got a couple people in already, it looks like. How's everybody doing this evening? This will be, as you see from the title, the smoking session that is presented by Black Line Luxuries. So you see myself, my brother Sean, and the people's champ known as James Garcia. So
do that, you know.
If you want, hey, as long as I don't say anything, we're good. But no, I've kind of been hinting at this earlier, y'all, about in some previous lives that the cigar that me and Sean and James will be smoking will be featured in August Cigar of the Month Club. So this is the Tyrannical Buck in Connecticut. So if you're a member of the Cigar of the Month Club, this might be a live stream that you want to pay attention to. If you are not a member of the Cigar of the Month Club, you might want to really pay attention to this as well. So I will let James speak further more on this information. He has more information on this than me.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. So first of all, good evening. Great to see everybody. Sean, thanks for kind of being the guinea pig for tonight's project. So I've always talked about the club in a capacity, and Ron has reiterated it for me. These are actual cigars that I smoke. I collect feedback on. I ask the lounge members. So what I wanted to do was kind of, turn to the Army, and so setting this up was a little process in the making. But so Sean agreed to be our guinea pig. This is one of the cigars that you guys are going to see coming to you in the club. So don't need to buy it. You'll have it coming to you this month. But I want to get the feedback. I want to start doing this on a monthly basis to see the cigars that I think should resonate, but do they with you guys? So Ron is going to pick somebody every month from the Army, loyal listeners, just the Army. I always feel weird saying that, Ron. I know you love that word, but I still struggle with it.
Well, I know the reason why I say that too, because I really, really hate the word subscriber, because I feel like it's very impersonal. So I feel like all these people I've just grown to love and just, they support me. So it's like, I hate the word subscriber. I hate the word fans, because I feel like when you call somebody a fan, you feel like you're above them. And I don't. I feel like I'm right there with everybody else. So I don't like the word fan either. So just like, shit, man, I just call everybody the Army. We're all in this together.
Awesome. Yeah. So this month, when moving forward, I'm going to send whoever the Army is that's going to be joining us to smoke and check out and get some live feedback. So I'm going to actually exclude myself. I am not smoking what they are. I have an Illusion Epernay from 2013 that I'm going to be enjoying. So
Another
I can get
excellent cigar.
The age doesn't hurt. So I'm going to let Sean and Ron, let their palates go to work, and hopefully they like it. If not, I'm going to challenge the rest of the subscribers for the Black Line Club, Cigar of the Month Club, to smoke and give me your thoughts. This is a brand. So the brand is Jocelyn Crawl. They came on the market in 2016. They've done other things such as Red Knight, Toothpick 2.0. They do the Nugs, and they also do Carlot. So they're a very boutique brand. I think they're incredibly successful right now. And they also just dropped a cigar called Fuck the FDA. I wonder why they would do that right now. But this is a boutique brand, if there is ever one right now, that's kind of on the same level of HVC. They started around the same time. They're producing sticks at the same quantity and, in my opinion, quality. So just introducing the Army to this. And so if you're interested moving forward, send Ron a text or a message, and we'll see if we can get you on. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
All right, man. Well, before we let Sean kind of introduce himself and talk more about him, we're going to tell you guys the cigar size. So again, we're going to be smoking the Tyrannical Buck Connecticut in Dublace, which is a 6.5 by 50 ring gauge. We got an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, a binder from Nicaragua, and filler from Nicaragua and Pennsylvania, so I'm already expecting this to be a very non-traditional Connecticut with the Pennsylvania broadleaf involved in it. Usually, Pennsylvania tobacco is very robust and carries a lot of strength with it. So I'm actually really, really excited about smoking this Connecticut. But yeah, we'll let Sean give you guys a breakdown of him, because I know a lot of you guys know him from seeing him in the chat, and we've become very, very close. We talk all the time about all different kinds of random stuff. So Sean, you let them know about yourself.
Random stuff indeed. Yeah. So guys, I just, I mean, I started following Ron, I don't know, several months ago. I mean, like everybody else, a little bit more of a shut-in situation. So smoking a little bit more. Stumbled across Ron and James, and yeah, I've just been and Ron, you may not like the word, but I'm a big fan. I'm a huge supporter of what you guys are doing. I like stylistically what you guys are doing. So, and I appreciate the opportunity to sit in with you guys. I love, pinging into the chat when you guys are live. I even watch the live replays and follow the chats and everything, seeing what people are smoking and that sort of thing. So it's just fun. And I follow a bunch of people that are all kind of interconnected one way or another. So a bunch of the guys out there.
And so this is what I was going to mention too. So Sean and James have both been smoking a lot longer than me too. And that's for me, the epitome of this community. You can always learn from anybody, or like I said, just because I've been smoking for 5 years, there's people that have been smoking for a year or two. There's still a lot of things I don't know. That's why I don't call myself an expert on anything. But me and Sean have talked about a lot of different cigars. He now recently has started smoking the Tatuaje Black Label, which is one of my favorite cigars, man. Picked up a Cazador today, so I'm probably going to end up smoking it tomorrow. We got really lucky. We're going to just go ahead and say it, man. So James had got the cigars sent out, and they were supposed to be here in the middle of the week. And you guys know domestic shipping has been all over the place too. So this probably wasn't going to happen. Like the chances of that happening this morning were very slim to none. And James texted me and said, man, it's showing both of y'all's packages are out for delivery today. I said, man, as long as they feel okay when they come out the box, I'm going to smoke them. I'm like Lee Mack. I'll smoke something fresh off the truck. So really excited about that, and makes me even more of a believer of fate, that things happen for a reason. So.
Yeah, I came in, I got off the golf course, came literally running home. I was like, I told my wife as we drove in the driveway, there should be a package at the door.
And then you hear
it was there.
Like, yes.
Yeah, it was there. It was there.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll stop talking and kind of pay attention to the chat, see what everybody else is going on. So we're going to cut it up and light it and tell you what we think. Also, a benefit of this too, like James just said, if I end up not liking this cigar, I'm going to say it. But that doesn't mean that what James picked out for you guys sucks, or it doesn't mean that the club sucks. It just means that I wasn't a particular fan of this cigar. So don't take it literal if I'm like, I'm just not a fan of this cigar. So
I mean, I literally can't pay Ron enough for him to, say he loved it. So like, that's the good news. You guys are always going to get an authentic Ron. I mean, I'll kind of pull back the curtains. One of the reasons, and Ron touched on it when you were talking about the composition of the cigar, this is not your typical Connecticut. I know people look at Connecticut and they're like, oh, that's my grandfather's with coffee. Nope, I'm not that person. This is not that. This is a Connecticut that's going to explore it's going to make your palate work. And I will say that you're going to have to work with the nuances and the flavor. I think the second third is just phenomenal in my opinion. The last third kind of backs off a little bit. But that second third, it's just a beautiful cigar. I think that's just well balanced, well constructed, and not your typical Connecticut, which is what blew me away. So
this cigar smells, I'm getting like the paper bag smell, but it's weird. It kind of smells like baby powder too, man. Kind of weird.
It's pretty firm.
It is.
Surprising.
It's a very nice looking cigar.
But yeah. I guess you guys can't really see. I'm kind of zoomed in lens here, but
I say, yeah. Can somebody? So
not very toothy. There's some veins, but they're nice and pressed down, so they're not all ugly looking.
And I will say, my 3-year-old loves it because it's got a dinosaur on the band. So
Yeah. What's the? Do you know the story behind the dinosaur? I think it looks like a Tyrannosaurus head.
Yeah, it is.
And the crown.
Yep. So it's meant to be, king. So the owner behind JSK is not quite as humble as me and Ron. You can't really be that person and try to lead a cigar brand in today's world. So he's a cigar lover turned blender owner, and so he's very, very proud of the products he put out, and he's got a very limited portfolio as well. So anything that does hit the market, he's incredibly proud of. Like, he thinks it's some of the best out there. So that's kind of where the crown comes from.
Got it.
The chat's making fun of me because I said baby powder. Look, man, that's what I'm getting when I'm smelling it, man. It smells like
You got a baby around the house too.
I do, man. It's like this very delicate smell. It's not too. I mean, other than that, the faint baby powder and paper bag, it's not really a lot coming off. It's not really any barnyard or manure or anything. It's not really not much coming off of it. I probably should have grabbed some matches with this being in Connecticut, but whatever. I'll cut this down.
I'm outside, so I definitely.
Lee Max says baby powdered covered bacon.
Oh.
Yeah, so I will say I'll give you one of those quotes to kind of reiterate the story I was telling. He says, the owner, and I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. He goes, "This is the greatest tyrannical buck release ever," referencing the one you have. The tobaccos are some of the most legendary stuff I've ever worked with.
Yep, scorched it a little bit.
So when you say
thing I hate about Connecticut rebels
like that,
as good as I can get. It ain't terrible, but got it a little bit. How's my? Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was saying my connection was unstable. I don't.
Yeah, you were froze up there for a little bit.
Okay. Unsweetened brown sugar.
Don't even start.
Hey man, that's what the chat said.
I thought you were legit trying to be an honest.
No. I look. I told you I'm in a good mood. I'm not trolling nobody. Like I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
Literally, that was you trolled, Ron. You trolled. You can't pretend just because you read it that you didn't know what it was. Come on now. I'm not gonna let you get away with that tonight. You feeling good? So
I am, man. I am. Justin Jones says any more info on the August shipment.
I'm giving you 25% of the box right here. I can tell you that I have 2 more of the sticks right in front of me off to the side over here, and Ron and I were talking about them earlier, and I think the
boy, the chat wilding, man.
Oh yeah, man, look at I see Herbie. He knows.
I gotta pull it up.
Y'all wilding, man. I just read a comment. That was like when I looked down at my phone, like 100%. That was like the top comment when I started reading.
I don't remember what we were talking about now anymore. Oh yeah, so no, I'm not going to give anything else away. I think part of the fun is getting that box and being surprised. But in giving back to Ron and to the Army, I wanted to do this so you guys get a little sneak peek. So that way you can be excited for the box and you can look forward to at least what one of the sticks are. And that way, because Ron smokes a lot of sticks on here, obviously, and sometimes you want to run out and grab them, but now you don't have to because in about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, you're going to have one in your hands. So,
Sean, what do you get? Man, I got a really nice white pepper blast on this one in the beginning.
That's that's the only thing I can pick up right now.
I'm talking about a blast.
I tried to retro, and that was not gonna happen.
I was gonna say if you don't retro hill regularly, this is not one you want to try with.
No. It's not on your tongue or on your lips though, or anything like that. It's just straight in the smoke. You just get hit with it really quick.
I'm starting to pick up a little bit of a. It's gonna sound crazy, but there was a chocolate, then it shifted to like a saltiness of a sunflower seed.
All right, you just made my night. No bull. So when I smoked it, I got like a salted buttery popcorn.
Yeah, it's salty. Like there was a nice chocolate and then it just went straight salty on me.
Yep. I'm telling you, this one, there are just notes in this thing that blew me away for Connecticut.
I can already tell this is gonna be a good performer.
Yeah, I'm outside, so I get a little bit of a fuzziness, but
that's not even bad for being outside. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The draw is right where I want it to. It's not really loose, but it has just the right amount of resistance on it. I like this size too. I like that 6.5 by 50. Nice size. I think that Pennsylvania tobacco, man, like I'm a fan of it in most of the blends I've tried, but it'll creep up on you, man.
Mm-hmm. So this one is rolled at, the famous factory in Nicaragua, Tabernacle. So, it's good quality rollers right there,
I know it's pretty early, man. I'm excited about this one, man. There's not a lot of sweetness, which I tend to more like the milk chocolates and other notes and stuff like that. Not any seed or anything, but what I am getting is, so I like that I'm getting some different things too. As long as they blend well and like mesh well together, like I don't mind it. And the saltiness is kind of working out with it now. I'm starting to get a little bit of wood on this one too.
I wouldn't have thought salty to begin with, but as you say that, in terms of my palate, there's definitely something that I'm not. That is a new one for me.
Yeah. So it's just being honest, like us as quote unquote reviewers, like you see some of these people out here and they'll start naming flavor notes and stuff sounds a little crazy. So we kind of lose a little bit of validity when you hear some people say stuff. And like I said before, you can kind of tell when somebody's read a review and just spouting stuff off that they read. But like, I just try, like I'll tell people, I'm like, man, I might like us, like if, let's say, for example, Half Will or Cigar Dojo reviews the cigar that I've smoked. We may both equally like the cigar, but then when I go back and look at the flavor notes, they might be completely different. Or if they named 10 things, I might have picked up 3 or 4 things that they picked up. So it's like, I mean, if I don't get it or I don't taste it, I'm not going to say it. Even if 1,000 people say they get that same note, if I don't taste it, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've smoked for a long time, but I even within a box, I'll pick different things up here or there, just based on the day or where I'm at, or if I'm paying attention.
Right.
Most of the time on the golf course, I can't taste anything.
I think if I was out on the golf course, like that's when I'd be bringing out like a Juarez and a Lucian Rothschild, like Henry Clay Warhawk. Like I'd just be bringing out like stuff I know it's a good cigar, but I don't have to pay attention to it. Some cigars, you owe it to pay attention to it because there's so many transitions, so many different flavors. You want to pay attention to it. Fred, no, it's not like a salted caramel popcorn. Like it literally, when I took a draw, I got a really nice chocolate, like it wasn't a really super sweet milk chocolate, but it was very faint. And then it just switched into a saltiness. Like if you get done eating the sunflower seeds, you can kind of taste that saltiness after. That's what it was more along the lines of. But even now the saltiness is there, but it's not as intense as it was at first.
It's a little dry.
It is.
Kind of drying. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean.
And Ron's working because he's not talking.
Trying to think, man.
I know, I'm putting you to the test right now.
I'm trying. I think I've said it before too. The only tyrannical buck I've had was a Maduro, and I did not like it. I have a few more, and it's been a few months since I smoked it. So I always tell you guys, smoke something twice before you like completely write it off. And which I'm really surprised about because it has the same blend as the Connecticut, but except for the Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, it has a Connecticut broadleaf. But as you guys know, I was telling you, Maduro hasn't really been hitting me well lately. So if it's not really, really aged well or well fermented, I can just tell, man, it just doesn't taste the same. It's not that good for me.
Yeah. Cigar Head, no, I never got the caramel on it. Mine was and I'm not smoking this one tonight. I went with something else. I went to Lugion because I wanted these guys to go at it. I have my notes on my phone of what I remember of the stick. But I did not get the caramel. I just got like the salt and the butter, which like was a really
butter's there now too.
Yeah, like so I typically like that cream, that caramel, which I thought I was going to get on this one. I don't want to give too much of the cigar away, but I was really surprised just at the flavors that I didn't get as much as the ones that showed up. That's what I will say.
Now, what I will say about the Connecticut for me right now is the body of it's not very intense. The smoke is really thin.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Go ahead, Sean.
I keep looking down and wondering if it's still lit, because there's just not much coming off of it. Even when I take a draw, there's not a lot of smoke development.
Yeah, it's not even picking up on the camera. Like it's
Yeah.
The finish, I would say, is on a very light side of medium, and there's the body on this is really, really light.
Yeah.
From what I traditionally taste, or I'm sorry, from what I traditionally smoke. What's the price point on this, James? For people that even aren't in the club but are maybe interested in buying it.
Yeah, so that one is $10.49.
Okay.
That's before California taxes you.
Oh God, man. Or if any of my Canadian friends are in here, you talk about some bad taxes.
I don't even buy in California.
I don't blame you. I'm almost to the point, Sean, where I'm not buying in Tennessee, and our taxes right now are just 6%. But when you can buy from a place that's 0%, it's like, and it gets there in days. It's like,
yeah.
Hey, Justin, I will know this week. Oh my gosh, on the
rookie.
This week on the Supreme Leaf, if I'm getting more, we have been told we will be second shipment. I just don't know how many yet. But this Sunday, Terrence Riley from Aganorsa will be at the shop for an event, and then also those in the club should have received an email that we are going to do a Zoom at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday with Terrence Riley. So all Black Lion Club members, if you haven't smoked to your Guardian of the Farm, Night Watch, Rambo, light that one up as we talk to one of the. I don't say this lightly. I think he was a former marketing guy. They brought him on as marketing. He's kind of the reason Aganorsa is at the top of their game right now, is because he's really helped guide that journey.
Oh, for sure.
From the name change and the lunatic is completely different this year. He's had
without Terrence, they're not where they are right now. Terrence literally has become the face of that company. Like, if everybody, if you are in the know and you really are in the community and know about it, like when you think Aganorsa, you automatically think Terrence Riley. And that is, that's no disrespect to Mr. Eduardo Fernandez or Max, because Max is the master blender there. Obviously, Mr. Eduardo is the owner and the cultivator and has all the farms. But I think that's probably honestly what they brought him in for. They wanted to get somebody that was a specialist that was able to get. He's over marketing, so he's doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm excited for that, and that's going to be a monthly benefit of the club as well. You talk about innovation in this world we live in right now, and we did a lot of Zoom calls, and I quickly realized these reps and these companies are really open to it. So I said, why not see if we can, get some every month as part of the club, because we have some good relationships at the shop. So we're going to be doing that every month. We're going to pick one of the 4 companies, and then we'll be doing Zoom. I don't want to say who, but August we might have the owner of one of the companies. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, when I got that email, I was like, "Oh, damn! I was excited."
Yeah, because
you get that sometimes. Different folks dropping into B&Ms and whatnot, but I actually don't really go to B&Ms all that often, but so being able to do it online, just have a quick conversation is pretty awesome.
Yeah. I hate I gotta work.
You're not even a member of the club. I'm messing.
Everybody in the chat, I want y'all to pay attention to how James is treating me, man. Listen to that. That's our relationship in a nutshell right there.
All right, so I will be honest. I sent Sean the same number of free sticks that I sent Ron for this review. I did not treat Ron any special, any grandiose. I didn't give him anything extra. They got the same amount of free sticks. So yes, I did not take care of Ron today. He only got 6 free sticks, guys. I'm sorry. This right. Let me this week.
Fair enough. No, but I was gonna say, Sean, I don't know how you feel right now. So like for me, the cigar is not bad, but it's just not a lot going on right now.
So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can definitely see that.
I can see that.
I've got a bit of a vein that just kind of blew out the side. This is probably like I would not typically smoke a Connecticut outside, especially like right now because it's a little bit windy. To make you all that are in the the swamplands of Memphis, the ocean breeze is coming in. It's evening time. We've got a little bit of a cool breeze, so it's so this is actually like I just touched this up pretty dramatically because it was kind of flaming out. But So that transition though from the saltiness, my palate was immediately within like the last 2 or 3 minutes just salivating.
Really?
Because just I don't have really any flavor.
Yep.
Specifically out of that, but that sort of saltiness sort of tapered off, and then I was very had a very wet palate.
See, mine's is right now is I still get that drying effect. I'm still getting some white pepper, a tad bit of the saltiness, and some wood, and that's what I'm getting right now. Like, I'm just sitting here. I mean, but you guys know I got a lot of cigar left, but right now I'm just kind of wanting, like, man, give me some cream or some sweetness. I need something to kind of keep me going, you know.
Ron, I think Sean is ahead of you in terms of where he's at in the stick. Mm-hmm. And so he's at, remember I said that in my opinion, 2/3 where it kind of kicked up. So I think that's why he's at that experience moment a little more. I'm going to jump to the chat. So John Wilhoy got the Lugion 1-off 53 the other day, he said, and it was very good. Find it if you can get it. Pay the money once.
At least.
Enjoy it. And then
and I'm gonna say that about most stuff too, like Padrones, Davidoffs, Opus X. Find you one of those models and at least splurge once to say you've had the cigar, and that way you can give an actual opinion of. Don't be one of those people that's like, oh, Padrones are expensive, and then you've never bought one to smoke it to experience for yourself. Be fair to yourself. Smoke one. Just like I can't be like, I think Davidoff's overpriced, and I've never smoked one before, or I never went up to smoke a small batch or a year of cigars. So. And I think I was mentioning that somewhere else recently too. I don't like to use the term overrated. I think for me, overpriced is more fair, because I don't think Davidoff or Opus X makes bad cigars. I just think the price doesn't warrant what I'm getting, which I think Lee Mack feels the same way towards Padrones. It's not that it's a bad cigar. He just feels for the money he's not getting what he should. So I think overpriced is a more fair term to use than overrated. Because if the cigar's construction and draw is always good, and you're getting something like that's a lot better than a lot of companies can say. You know, every time you pick up a Davidoff or every time you pick up a Padron, the construction is gonna be there.
So Lee Mack, he said, how does he get on? I swallowed a bug and I can't get rid of it. Lee Mack asked, how does he get on the Black Lion Club mailing list? You want to tell him what he's got to do, Ron?
Nothing, Lee Mack. We'll put you on there. Is that the answer you wanted to hear?
No, I want his money.
That's between you and Unc.
I got you, Lee Mack. I got
you. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, nah.
You know, Ron, you're saying too. I mean, in terms of try something. The other thing. I mean, some people aren't comfortable getting outside of a certain box, a certain brand or whatnot, and that's okay. Like I've got friends that are just diehard Rocky fans from like the way back, and they have a particular sort of approach, and that's for them. So if you But then don't call something out as, oh, it's this or that if you haven't really been down that path.
Exactly. Or if you're a lot of people ask me the question, and you guys have been smoking longer than me, so you'll be able to probably answer this better. People ask, well, how do I get my palate more advanced, or how can I start to pick up different nuances? Don't expect to get your palate better if you're only smoking one type of cigar or 3 different cigars from one certain company. You're not willing to be open. It's cigars, man. There's tens of thousands of different cigars. Why would you limit yourself to 3 or 4 different cigars? So when I start to ask these questions and they're like, oh, well, I've been smoking 2 or 3 years, but there's only 2 or 3 that I like. And it's just like, that's your problem. You got to be willing to smoke stuff and realize that you don't like it. But then you're going to, like I say, you'll learn something or you'll pick up something from everything. So that's my number one rule for people that are just like, well, what do you do to recommend getting your palate more defined? Smoke everything. I challenge everybody in this chat. Every time you go into a B&M or if you make a purchase from a store or Black Line or wherever you buy from, and you can buy singles, every time that you order something, pick you one cigar that you're not familiar with every time you order. And I guarantee you in 6, 7, 8 months, you'll be very surprised at how well you're coming along.
Yep.
I guarantee it.
Andre, I'm very sorry to hear about the trying to get your $20 Davidoff for your son, man. That's not a.
What happened?
So he said went to a brick and mortar today to get a stick for my son who's a novice smoker. First thing he tried to do is point me to a $20 Davidoff.
See, man,
that's not good customer service right there.
No. Scotty said Black and Milds.
Right.
So y'all put everybody in the chat. If you want to see me review a Black and Mild, put a thumbs up. If not, put a thumbs down. If there's enough thumbs up, who knows? You might see it. Now, I'm probably not going to dedicate it to a live review, or an official review. I'll do a live review smoking a Black and Mild. But there's got to be, the Army's got to say they want to see it.
Eric Thomas, I saw his comment about food and liquor and variety. I definitely agree.
Lee Mack says he reviewed a Black and Mild, so if you want to get another credible opinion, go check out Lee Mack's review of the.
Swisher Sweets. All right, come on now,
dude. There was some quick thumbs down, but then we got some thumbs up, man. I don't know how we're gonna keep count, man.
I got 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aloha. 8, 9. I got 9 versus 6 thumbs down.
And then I like it that people doing or Janae just put 3 thumbs down, so you got to count those 3.
You gotta look at this ash, guys. This is like, it's still hanging on there.
I just had to tap mine because I already knew it was gonna fall on me. I hadn't touched it, but you guys can see it's not like razor sharp, but I'm not gonna mess with it.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm actually really surprised that thing's still clinging on, man.
I know it's not even wavering. Like, it'll come off here in a second when it's ready. Oh, there it goes. Just loosen it up a little bit. Talk to it.
I am getting more butter now though too. And it's almost, I'm getting the taste, but it's almost like the texture of it too. It's kind of weird.
I've just started to get a little bit more smoke out of it.
I will agree with you on this too, Sean. It's not drying anymore. It's not as drying as it was at first. It's starting to become more where you're salivating a little bit more.
Yeah.
Man, I love the chat, man. Y'all keep me entertained, man.
Damn Herbie.
Cass said, I will ship you a stick. Please don't smoke a Black and Mild. I love y'all, man. Oh, by the way, I'm drinking a little Pinot Noir. I'm drinking Cooper and Thieves. This is a new one. I have not tried it. It is finished in brandy barrels for 75 days. Profile is lush and jammy with salted caramel notes. I'm not getting caramel at all, but I definitely can get the jamminess in it. So I'm drinking.
Mystic. He said Black and Mild review. First puff, there's a faint hint of garbage.
Oh, man.
Well played.
See what is a person's taste buds based on nationality? Not at all, my call. I mean, you know what? I'm not even gonna say. I don't know.
I mean, I don't.
Well, certainly,
I'm not gonna say no, because the more I think more Hispanic or Latino people like spice or cook more with spice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna rule that out.
I think, I mean, in our house, my wife is Korean. And she's she has almost every stick I smoke, I like go over and like, here, smell this. What's this smell like? She just has a very developed palate because she's eaten so much Korean food and American food, and she's very exploratory with food. So it is a trait, I guess, something you can build upon, something you pick up as a kid or whatnot. You eat a lot of different foods.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. James, who are some people that you think have some of the best palates that you've been around?
I mean, obviously Nick, but and I think it speaks right into what Sean was saying. He's Indian,
right?
I mean, he's cooked for me enough. So our shop is located right next to an Indian restaurant, and so typically our lounge eats more Indian food than we do pizza and wings. Ironically enough,
Right.
Super Bowl party was all Indian food, and I will say, revisiting cigars that I have known for the past decade have produced different results because we will have our mouths on fire before, or we're exploring, just the herbs and the spices and the plant-based, cooking they do, and I get some similar, but sometimes it's a completely different experience. So yeah, I could see that, and I think I would say it's more environmental though, not genetics, I guess is how I find that. So
fair enough.
Because yeah. So I want to back it up. So Kevin Gray, Lee Mack chimed in, but he says looking for a cigar for my 50th birthday. Any suggestions? And he goes on to say, full body price range. I saw 100 to 300 or 100 to 200. And Lee Mack says,
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Lee Mack says we should ask us. And so I know, Ron, you're going to say Padron, obviously, right?
For birth or celebratory cigar, I would go Big Hammer or the 80th anniversary. If you want to do a Davidoff, probably dabble in the small batch collection. James is going to have more experience with the Davidoffs. Lee Mack probably will too, but I don't think a Davidoff would be a bad grab. If you can find even something, it doesn't even have to, there's great celebratory cigars that aren't crazy expensive. Like if you can find in Yeho Shark, they retail for $12 or $13. If you can find Placencia is a great cigar at around $20. But I don't put for me, when I think about a celebratory cigar, I don't automatically jump to this is my budget. I want just a good ass cigar, man. I'll smoke an Aladino Corojo Reserva. Those run around $12, $13. Supreme Leaf, obviously, that's a celebratory cigar. For me, So
Sean, let's ask the unbiased guy in the room. When it's your birthday, what are you going for? Or anniversary, what are you smoking?
I usually go for nostalgia sticks, something that I've had with a friend before. A good friend of mine, we've smoked together for years, and so I'll usually go for something that we've just had before, and it could be just something run of the mill, nothing too special or spectacular. So yeah, I wouldn't gravitate to a particular price or brand or anything like that. I would just go for something that we've had before. I've had this experience before, which, sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. But that's kind of what I would go for is just what I remember. There's a lot of sticks that I have that I've had that I've got 3 sticks in my humidor right now that friend recommended to me. I'm saving them just to smoke with him. Nice. It's just,
you gotta look at A-Rod's comment too, man.
Oh, I saw A-Rod and I were dogging the condoms in the lounge.
I hate that. I hate that they just don't look the same in cellophane. They look cheaper. That's just an opinion of mine. Recently Placencia switched over in their Alma series. They started putting in cellophane, and then the boxes, they took the ashtray away, which I actually don't mind the ashtray being taken away, other than the price is the same. I think that's bull. But I looked at the cellophane. I'm just like, these cigars look cheap now.
Yep.
They just look cheap.
So I'm with Sean.
Yeah.
UF13 is a great cigar.
Yeah.
That's definitely a celebratory cigar for me. I would grab one.
So
this is not an elite cigar for me right now. It's not bad. It's a good cigar, but I wouldn't say it's elite.
Ron's getting caught up on the chat finally.
Dude,
So I'll give this away. So every month when I package and I receive feedback and stuff, I kind of rank the cigars, A, B, C, D. Not from a quality standpoint, but if you looked at this month's package, right, there was clearly an A. There was that Padron. B, in my opinion, was, well, you could go back and forth between the aged warped Maestro del Tempo or the HVC because it was a little more limited. And then the Guardian Farm was the C one, in my opinion, or so I guess how you categorize it. But there's always a clear value and what I think in terms of rank, right? So the A's are in my opinion, those are the ones you'll save for the special moment of that month if you got one coming up that you know about. So I will say this is kind of my C cigar of this month of the August box. So this isn't the anchor. This isn't the heavy hitter that I want you to be wowed and, oh my God, I can't believe I got it in my box. This is the cigar I put in that I want to challenge your your understanding of a Connecticut, of a new brand that is growing exponentially on the market. And when we talk about innovation in the cigar world, this is kind of that stick for me right now. Same with the Aladino Cameroon. It's innovative, and I want it to change how you approach your cigar journey. But then they're also affordable. You can walk in, if your cigar shop does, buy 4 get 2, or buy 5 get 1. You can go home, have a good weekend, collect, and the bank's not broken.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
smoke production has picked up for me too.
Looks like your burn straightened out a little bit too, Ron.
It has, and the smoke production is nice now. Somebody, or let me see, celebratory pairing. Alfonso asked, one of the best pairings I ever put together was the Glen Morangi 14-year Quinta Rubin in the Padron 1926 80th anniversary. Fantastic pairing. Another one that people sleep on is the La Flor Dominicana Cameroon Cabinet Lancero in the Hibiki 12.
Yep.
I got a cherry hard candy on that I didn't pick up from either one by themselves, but together. A lot of people sleep on Japanese whiskey because the Japanese went over to Scotland to learn what they were doing, but they also took it back and made their own thing, right? So there's a lot of similarities in it, but it's a lot softer. It's not as peaty as a lot of Islay scotches are, but it's very crisp, clean, nice fruity floral notes to it, a lot of honey. I think a lot of people that recommend or that ask me about scotch, I say, try a Japanese whiskey first and see if you like that, and then kind of jump off into Ardbeg, Bowmore, Lagavulin, Lafroy, start jumping into that stuff. But
so somebody commented what I was trying to get back to with Sean. And Sean, I agree 100% on how we define our anniversary or stuff. I can't remember if I mentioned it on this chat, but Ron knows the story. So one of the moments I look forward to every year is the day I graduated college. It was the day my dad first. It was the first and only cigar he's ever bought me, and it was a Rocky Patel Edge.
Nice.
Nothing special, right? You can find them everywhere, a dime a dozen. But for me, it meant a lot because I was the first person in my family to graduate college. And it was more so that my dad then also bought it for me because he knew I liked cigars. And I dabbled, a little bit. But I still to this day, I smoke that cigar every year, and I invite my dad over, and it's like a thank you for all the years and all the hard work, and decade and some change later, here we are. Then on the flip side, on my son's birthday and my birthday, I smoke Opus X Purple Rain. And they're overpriced. They're definitely overpriced. They're a pain in the ass to find. But to me, it's a very fun, hard stick. And to me, that matters because it's my life. Obviously, it's my birthday, but then it's my son. So they are what you make them. But I will never tell you I smoke an Opus X because it's the best stick on the market.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
I agree.
I got hooked on a birthday, and I've kept it that way ever since.
I used to smoke a lot of the Edge Sumatras. I got a really nice cinnamon flavor on that when I first started smoking, and I really, really gravitated towards it. I haven't had them in quite a few years, but I remember liking that cigar a lot.
Yeah, I never keep them. I literally, the week before, I have a Google Calendar notification that pops up, and I have to go find them and buy them.
William Bodley said had a Cohiba today, and it was kind of let down. I think because it's so often overhyped. So yeah. For me, speaking on Cuban Cohibas, if you really get around people that really smoke Cuban cigars, very few of them are going to mention Cohibas as their favorite. Very few. It just has the name. I think most of the time you're going to run across Ramon Alones, Bolivar, some Trinidads, H. Upman. You'll get some other stuff like that. But I don't have really a real extensive history with smoking Cuban Cohibas other than the Robusto. I've had the Esplendido. They're good, but a lot of it really boils down to quality control, like how good the draw and construction is and how old they are. Cohibas need a lot of age to them, man. Yep. That's not. You can't grab a Cohiba Robusto at 8 months and expect a really great cigar. It's just not gonna be there. Just not gonna be there.
Well, unless you
I don't know how old the cigar is, but what were you saying, James?
Grab that Talisman.
I still need to try that. That's one I need to try. Yeah. What about you, Sean? Do you have much experience with Cubans?
I started smoking with Cubans. that was where I started. I happened to be international for a bit,
Okay.
It was just easy to get.
What's your favorite Cuban to go to?
I haven't had one in a long time. And I had to reach out to my brother recently and was like, what did we used to smoke? Because we knew a guy who had a whole sort of import kind of thing going on, so it's just easy to get things. So I remember a lot of Monte Cristos. That's all we could come up with. In terms of naming, or whether or not there's one that we sort of gravitated towards. But no, I don't go out of my way really to get Cubans ever. I mean, if there's something out there, I'll pick it up. But I think there's so much other variety that I like to get into that I just sort of lean that way a little bit more.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, William, the problem that most Americans are gonna find when they start dabbling with Cubans, because you're so used to Nicaraguan tobacco, Dominican, Honduran, it's already so well aged, so well fermented. Most people, if you go into it with an open mind, you'll smoke and be like, man, this is really it. But most of the time you're gonna get really young ones or, bad rolls. So that's one of those things, like when you get a really good Cuban that performs well and it tastes well, you get it, but there's gonna be some that you run across that are just gonna be average. And it's okay, or below average, and it's okay for you to say that. As opposed to some people that just think Cubans are just supreme over everything else. So to me, I'm not surprised that you say that you weren't really, or were kind of underwhelmed by it. I'm not surprised.
Oliver, the chat says hi.
Hi.
Oliver,
hello, Oliver.
Mr. Andre, he saw you smelling the cigar and he said, starting young. So you know how to smell cigars, right? You don't know why you do that yet. No, you don't. That's the tube. You don't smell that.
Make sure I ain't missing.
Yeah. So, Ron, you need to jump back up to Giancarlo's. He wants to know, how do you define elite cigars?
So for most of the time, the construction, just kind of without being said, for me to have an elite cigar, the construction's got to be there. The burn and the draw usually have to be spot on. But for me personally, I'm looking for nice, really intense, full flavors. I like a lot of transitions, a lot of complexity. And then it doesn't have to be a full-fledged strength bomb, but if it has a little bit of strength, it's almost like how Brian Glenn, when he explains strength, is kind of like adding salt or pepper to a dish. It just kind of accentuates the flavor a little bit more. So when I get the strength, it just kind of enhances my experience and it makes it better for me. That's why strength is involved in my rating. But most of the time, I'm looking for nice, full flavor and a lot of complexity is what's going to classify me to have an elite cigar. Now, that's going to be subjective. You're going to run across people that may like more balance, or, they don't mind flavor, but they don't want it super intense. They like subtlety. So, but that's just my personal preference. I like more full, more complex blends. What about you, Sean?
Okay.
I keep going back to this buck, trying to figure this thing out. It's I think I just got a stick with a vein in it is all. It kind of it's fed all the way through, but the burn is like
not bad for being outside.
Yeah, really really good. I'm trying to place. I'll like there's certain cigars I'll smoke it. I think a lot of people do this at certain times of the day. I think this is definitely a morning stick that I could do really easily. With a really clean palate, then I think I could pick up all of the different things and sort of take my time with it. But I right now I can't get much off of it.
I'm right there with you too. Like there hasn't been any specific note that maybe go, wow, that's this or that's that. Like it's not, and that's me saying it's not a bad cigar, but it's just, and that's what I was just saying. For me, it's not an elite cigar. The flavors are nice, they're decent, and it's just kind of staying the same. It's just riding a straight line down. It's not really veering left or right. It's just going straight.
Yeah, it is very consistent, I will say.
Yes. One thing I cannot knock it for the construction. I haven't thought about picking up my lighter at all. It's been fine. Construction has been very good.
Yeah, and so I define elite. I missed some of it because I got a 3-year-old shit talking away my ear. What's up, buddy?
I need something to see him.
Can't help you with that, man. No, because you left your thing at Pal and Grandma's house. I don't know why you left it there. Yes, you did.
See, I feel like almost, Sean, if like I was getting like some cream or cedar, that would help like liven this up a little bit. But it's just like it's something missing out of the blend.
You haven't got any cream. Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I got a little peak of it kind of in the first third, but it didn't stay around long. And I think it was kind of combined with that butter taste for the texture and everything too. That's what kind of was helping it out. But like right now, I'm getting like mostly. It's not drying me out, but it's like I'm not salivating like I was kind of in the beginning of the second third, and I'm getting more. I'm getting more wood and still like a soft white pepper. Okay.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I think Elite's defined differently, right? It goes across the board. Some people it's money. Some people it's the rarity of it.
Right.
I don't know. To me, it's is it hitting the palate for me? Kind of think that's what Ron was talking about. So for easy there, Haas. All right, no more, please. So yeah, it changes every year, honestly. Like it'll change every year for me, just as my palate continues to change. So
right.
I don't think I really have. In fact, I think Ron, you use at other times like premium. It's premium. Do you differentiate premium versus elite? Is that one better than the other?
Yeah,
is this
so for me, when I think of premium cigar or all right. So you got super premiums, then you got premium. So for me, premiums are like Illusion, HVC, Aganorsa Falls, and premium.
I probably write down the oil. Time with him about this one.
Drew Estate for me is a premium cigar. I don't consider it a super premium.
Oh, I got beard.
You have a mustache.
Like the standard stuff we're smoking, I consider premium cigars. When I look at super premiums, I'm looking at like an Opus X, Davidoff, Atabey, Byron, those things like that. And I think for me, when I associated the premium, super premium, sub premium with price tag. However, the blender or the company shells out the price. So when I look at a cigar and I see a $30 cigar, it's a super premium to me. Now, whether that's an elite super premium is different. It's still a super premium, but it might not be an elite super premium.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I kind of like look at that. But most stuff I smoke every day, I would say is not an elite cigar, but premium cigars. Like I've been smoking a lot of CLE Corojos lately. To me, that's a premium cigar. It's not a super premium, like $7-8 price tag. Really good flavors, not overly complex, but a very good daily smoker. Trying to think of some other companies that might, like I said, Aganorsa comes to mind really like as far as right now who's heading the game as far as like premium cigars, because they're putting out a very good product and the price is very relatable for everybody. Like who can't go out there and at least, even if you don't buy it every day, but who can't go out and buy a $10 or $12 cigar? It's not a $30 cigar, but you can get a really damn good cigar for $10.
Yeah, I've been surprised with it. Or not surprised. I've been surprised.
Because I mean, even look at it, like even
point in flavor profiles is thorough throughout. So
yeah, because I mean, honestly, looking at like the Supreme Leaf is the hottest thing right now in the market. Like that could have easily been priced at $15 or $16 a cigar and still would have sold out the same. But they didn't. It's a $10 or $11 cigar. So to me, that's an elite cigar at a premium range. But I would put that premium cigar up against a lot of super premiums, and it would outdo it. For my palate, it would outdo them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Somebody asked in the chat what we're smoking again. This is Anthony. This is the Tyrannical Buck.
Tyrannical Buck, Connecticut.
Doesn't pick up very well.
I will say this though, I'm enjoying this a lot more than the Maduro. I'm gonna have to revisit the Maduro, but as of right now, like I like the Connecticut more than the Maduro.
That's good. At least I got one of them right then. Yeah, Herbie, nah, man, I love my son. Listen, my kid, he knows not to touch the cutters. He knows he can touch any cigar. He knows how to treat them. We've had that conversation. You saw him smelling. He knows what he's doing. So I don't worry about it. It's just money. Like, I don't say that lightly, but it's one of those, like, I don't blame it. I don't. It's like that analogy, right? If he got behind a car and crashed it, it's not his fault. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
If I'm letting them touch my cigars, it's my fault. So
I would agree on that recommendation. The Late Hour and Nicaragua are two very good Davidoff blends, in my opinion. I think they're very good. Very, very consistent too.
Yeah. So
Hey,
there were.
I was just gonna say Cowboys and just rolled in.
Cowboy.
I love his channel.
Dude, I've just been really happy in the past 2 or 3 months to see a lot of these channels with some good guys starting along, man. Like that's good. I like his channel a lot too. Alex is in the building. I like Alex. I like what Alex got going on. He's kind of giving me that Smokin preacher vibe. He's putting out he's building up quite a nice body of work. He's working a lot faster than I did when I first came in.
So there was a couple questions, Ron and Sean, about full body Connecticut, right? It's kind of that oxymoron. However, there are a couple that I'll throw out there, and you guys can jump on and you can give your thoughts. So the first is from Roma Craft, the Intemperance. I think it's XV3. That's a pretty good one. And
Very
then
good price point on those too.
Yeah, and I think then it's called Iron Horse Connecticut. I don't know if you guys have smoked those at all, but those are, I'd say, probably your fullest body Connecticut's that I've run across that actually have some phenomenal flavor as well too. So
yeah, I mean, and one of them is in the Summer Showdown package, which, I got to mention that too. So James shut that packet or that sampler down, and he'll be able to explain later. But the Henry Clay Warhawk is one of my favorite Connecticut's too, and also is just priced very good. But it has a Connecticut broadleaf binder, which gives the Connecticut blend a lot more life, a lot more flavor. So but that's not full though. I would say that's probably a good medium, low side of medium to full on body and flavor for me. But very, very good. But James, I guess you can elaborate more on why the sampler is shut down now.
Well, I'll go ahead, Sean. Do you have any Connecticut's you want to throw out there?
I don't actually smoke a lot of Connecticut's. It's very, very rare. And when I do, it's never ends well. It's just I don't know what it is. I am outside a lot, so the Connecticut wrapper does not hold up to being outside at all. So I mean, not at all, but very
just
rare.
Very delicate.
Yeah. So I end up with burn issues and that sort of thing. So, but no, I don't tend to gravitate toward Connecticut at all, really.
Okay.
Charter Oak Connecticut is very good.
Yep.
Very good cigar.
I see somebody literally, I think bang for buck. It's absolutely right. Charter Oak.
Very, very good cigar.
Yeah.
The High Clare Castle is very good too. Nick Melillo knows what he's doing with everything.
That's one that I don't.
Price point is a little high, but it's a good cigar.
It's worth it in my opinion.
Very, very good cigar. I smoked one last week and I really, really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so there are good Connecticut's out there. So like for me, if I'm grabbing a Connecticut, I know I'm not going for the full body, knock me on my ass kind of cigar. So I default to right now the top Connecticut's that I'm smoking daily and or weekly. It's the Aganorsa Leaf Connecticut, and in that size,
man, dude, yes.
Yeah, in that size, I go for a Churchill.
Churchill, yes, dude, yes.
Aladino's Connecticut is phenomenal. It is.
CLE Connecticut too.
Yep. So yeah, those are the ones I mess with the most when it comes to Connecticut, other than the DBL Amarillo that they have. So
I know Lee's a big fan of that one too.
Yeah, so those are the only ones I rock with. I know, some people there's plenty of them out there, but some are just too bitter. Whereas I think the ones I just listed and Ron mentioned, they actually balance very, very well with that bitterness and the flavors. So.
And Stephen Carl mentioned the Viaje Villa Sombra, which I've even mentioned to James probably for the past 2 or 3 months. Like, that's a company that I'm going to have to venture off more into. I'm really interested because I know they use a lot of Aganorsa tobacco too. So I'm going to be smoking a lot more Viaje this year too. I'm going to go out my way to make sure I'm smoking a lot more Viaje.
Yeah. So Justin, I see your comment, buddy. And Justin and I we've been talking a lot via email lately, getting to know each other. So he says, I don't get the mild cigar in the morning. I don't want mild coffee or mild breakfast. So I agree with what you're saying. However, I smoke 6 to 7 cigars a day. I don't want my palate blasted at 8 a.m., 7 a.m. whenever I'm driving or I'm up. So for me, it's more of a gradual way. I'm fat, so I can't use an exercise excuse, but like, you don't just like squat 500 pounds right away, right? What do you do?
Unless you're a phenom.
Well, yeah. Like you stretch, you do all those little things out of the gate. And to me, that's what that is. It warms up my palate. It warms up the mouth, it gets me going. So that's why I am a very big Connecticut person. Oh, then Rick G is a La Galera, Connecticut.
Oh, La Galera, that's probably my favorite Dominican company.
Yeah, see,
Hochi's another fantastic blender, man. He knows what he's doing too.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's the Connecticut's are out there. They get slept on, and they get people dump on them. But
and for me, like me and James probably smoke pretty similar. We're doing 4 to 6 a day. I know it sounds cliche, but I'm a very big mood smoker. Like I wake up in the morning. Some days I want mild. Some days I'll grab for something more medium full. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I never have a day planned out where I know exactly what I'm going to smoke. Even when I go into a review, I look in my humidor and whatever is speaking to me, whatever sounds good, that's what I'm going to grab.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
So
Atabey is a good cigar, but not a lot of people have $30 to run around with on a Connecticut.
You might get it in your club soon. Whoops. So circle back to the Ron, the summer showdown. So unfortunately, guys, if you haven't been paying attention to the market, if you're looking at other websites and even ours, you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff that's out of stock or on back order. Just with COVID and, Nicaragua shut down their factories again this week, kind of as a second wave. So production has been a problem the last couple months anyway. And so unfortunately, we had to pull the sampler because there's a couple brands that we just can't get. We can't get them anymore. It's not been a secret. If you've been watching these live chats, you've heard me say that, if you like something, grab it now. It's because of things like this.
Right.
So we had to pull the sampler. I mean, we sold through about 4 boxes of everything. So about 80 samplers went out. So you guys surpassed Ron's expectation of everything, which was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But unfortunately, we just had to pull it off the shelf because we can't get it. And I say it from the standpoint of we didn't have to, we did. We had to buy 96 boxes of a cigar because we were trying to do something big. So I'm giving you a hint. It's for the club. And they were talking and he goes, no, this is literally the last 96 boxes in the warehouse for the company. And the company is a multi-million cigar producer annually. So like we're at the point where their warehouses are getting empty. So just hang in there. But if you like,
Joseph had a question for you too, James.
What's that?
Does Black Line Cigar Club offer Chogue sticks? Any taste profiles you can share? Thanks, brother of the leaf. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong.
We do not, man. You talk about there's an ultra premium. That's a rare ultra premium right there. No, we don't. We had them, but they have long since been moved. I think we had, was that Dose 77, which is either a Robusto or a Toro, I think. We moved them though. So if you can find those, let me know and I will buy them off anybody.
Lee Max, I tried to tell people to buy while the getting was good. Yeah, man, because and James has been saying this on lives for the past 3 or 4 months, even about Maduro cigars. If you like Maduro, you need to buy them now because eventually you're not gonna see them.
Yeah. I mean, whether you believe me, listen to the GOAT, man. Lee Max dropping bombs. So, and I say we buy a lot of cigars, and we've had to tell some people, nah, sorry, can't do that. So. So Scotty asked, are we out of lock creams? We have 1 open box of lock creams from Crown Heads. Crown Heads does not have any in their warehouse. John is on record saying that I pulled everything we had for the sampler, and then the size is the size that doesn't sell, but just nobody else can get them. So that's the only reason they're moving is because people like that. So
yep.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite cigars too. So I'm sad to hear about that too.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to scare. I'm just, cards on the table, be honest, it is what it is right now. And it's unfortunate, but it's just the reality.
Ron, where are you at in this? What are you getting on this? Are you picking up anything? No. There's something I just can't tell what it is yet.
And like you said, what I'm gonna do, what I want to do now is, since I have, well, it's gonna be kind of unfair because it's different sizes, but probably tomorrow morning the first cigar I'm gonna smoke is this. Because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down and smoke a smaller ring gauge to try to see if I'm picking up anything else. But right, like I said, it's not bad. It's just very average for me right now. I can say the construction is spot on. The construction is gonna be great. And again, like I said before we even started smoking this is just my palate. You guys know I like stronger, more full, more complex blends. Like it's not a bad cigar, but I'm enjoying this more than the Maduro, which is crazy. If you would tell me to pick up the Connecticut or Maduro, 9 out of 10 times I'm going to Maduro, but
yeah,
not getting anything.
Anthony, no. Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I'd say I'd go back to this stick. I'd buy this stick again. I'd say, oh, this is the time I spent with Ron and James, and I smoked this stick. It's one of those moments.
I'm gonna remember
that's
it
really
too,
it. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to, and so I would tell people if Connecticut is more your profile, because I know there's like Prudence is an avid follower of mine. I know she likes more mild stuff. There's some people that like more mild cigars. Pick this up. Like I think this is worth buying 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Up to a 5-pack. I wouldn't commit to a box of this at all, but a 5-pack, 2 or 3.
What I will say, the boxes of this, they've got that HVC box, man. It's short.
Yep.
Long. So it's like nobody wants them in their humidors anyway because they don't fit.
Yeah, same. Yeah, just like the HVC broadleaf box is like probably 18, 17 inches long.
Yeah. So Anthony, no, there's not any. So there's a couple companies that are just kind of excluded from this, right? Padron, Davidoff, Fuente. Well, Fuente's had a Maduro shortage, but like their warehouses are just beyond belief. So no, there's no issue there. Though they aren't the companies we're having problems with right now. It's just some of the other ones. You know, you can. I don't want to say names. Just I don't want the reps to like think I'm dogging them or something, because I know some reps watch this, but you know, probably one of the biggest companies out there that you all smoke on a daily basis that, you know, 9 or 52, we had a sizable order that's been back ordered, unfortunately. And it's just the reality of where we're at. So then, which leads me to Charles. So Charles, it's not a price factor. There's not a shortage of it. It's just, there's nobody there rolling it right now. So there should not be any price increases. And if there is, I think you're going to see the brick and mortar market just revolt because of that, because it's not the brick and mortar's fault that the factories are shut down. So, you know, the tobacco's there, it's in the warehouse, it's in the fields, it's just not being rolled or processed correctly, or just at all. I guess it's not even correctly, it's just at all, because nobody's there working. So it's just one of those, like, how fast can you get back into the factories and start rolling the cigars, putting the bands on, putting them in boxes and getting them out the door. So
somebody, or who was it? Pariah said just bought a 5-pack of Aladino Cameroon's fantastic cigar.
Beautiful.
Fantastic cigar.
Yeah, I was really hot out of the gate, but I've been smoking the Connecticut versus the Cameroon more, and I think I like the Connecticut more than the Cameroon now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and which is weird, because I mean, y'all saw me on that live stream. I was all about that Cameroon, and I still am. Right. But I just think in the market right now, I think the Connecticut's just doing a little bit more for me.
But that just shows you how strong Aladino and JRE's portfolio is too. It's almost kind of like running along with HVC and Aganorsa. So like they're just putting out a high quality product, man.
Yep.
Justin smoking the Supreme Leaf.
Ah, there you go, Justin. So yeah, the Crown Heads, the La Cream, it's going to come back. It's just not out there right now. You know, like anything, there's a supply and demand. You know, how much can you produce? And John Huber's always been well known. He's on record saying that they don't keep a lot in their warehouse because that's just not his business model. And I can commend and recommend that. I appreciate that approach. You know, they're still a small company, so think about it from a cash flow standpoint, right? He doesn't have the luxury of sitting on $1 million worth of inventory because he's got to make payroll, or he's got to buy new tobacco, or he's got to figure out what factory he's going to work in next. So it's just a business model that he operates at where he's at right now.
Sorry, you have to excuse me. I'm pouring some more wine.
White pants, man. So yeah, so Mr. NJ, absolutely support your brick and mortars. I'm an online guy, and I'm telling you right now, just buy cigars. Like the industry is where it's at. You know, it is considered an expendable purchase, or not expendable. What word am I trying to think of, Ron? It's extra cash, right? You know.
Yeah.
Dang, what is that word?
It's strategic. I mean, it just comes back down to being strategic with this stuff, man. Like, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, support, whether it's you're buying bundles of quorums for $30, stuff matters. It really matters. Okay. We're probably the only shop, well, in our region, I should say. We actually have our bundle cigars like on a nice display, and most people they'll put them on the bottom or they'll hide them in the corner. We value our bundle customers as much as anybody else because they come in every day or they come in once a week. They're still smoking cigars. They matter to the industry and to the community.
Right. What are you thinking, Sean? Still can't figure out what you tasting?
It was a fleeting flavor. It was there for a moment, and then
I'm getting like a licorice now too.
I've just got a really good not really tart, but a little not sour, but tart. Very hot.
Yep.
I don't know if that's it's because I'm smoking it faster, or if it's just because it's what's going on, but it's I don't know. There's not really a flavor there that I'm getting.
Yeah, because we've been up for almost an hour and a half. We probably start smoking about 10 minutes in. So you might as well say an hour and 10. I probably got realistically another 20 minutes, 25. So you got a decent smoke time out of this too. And I'm not the fastest or the slowest smoker. I always like to say I'm pretty much dialed in the middle. It's always funny when I watch I look at Half Wheel's articles and they get these insane smoke times on these samples. I'm like, it'll be a cigar. I'll smoke an hour and 30, and they're like, average smoke time on this was 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm like, how did they squeeze out almost 3 hours on it?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever smoked a 2.5 hour cigar.
It's got to be like an A model or something for me to have like, or like when I smoked the Asylum Pandemonium,
or the Andalusian Bull.
Or the Andalusian Bull's a really long smoke too, which for me was I just got bored because there wasn't a lot of transitions or anything going on there too. So I was just like, all right.
Well, yeah, there was on the first model, the first runs.
The first runs were really, really good, man. Before one cigar of the year.
Yeah, Anthony and Steven are all helping me out in leisure. You know, as long as the money's green, discretionary, leisure buy. Yep.
There you go, discretionary purchase.
Yeah. So there was Ron. I think the chat, and I'll give this one away. I don't think they care, or if they haven't figured it out, it's shame on them. They're asking natural Maduro on the 90th.
I'm more of a Padron Maduro fan, but in that particular model, I actually like the natural a tad more.
Which is why it was in the club box, folks.
Yep.
So, like I've said,
James literally asked me a question. He said, "This is the cigar I'm choosing. You think natural or Maduro?" And I said natural.
So that's the answer, and I agreed 100% with it. So hopefully all of you that have gotten that box and have smoked it, you have enjoyed that one because it was a gem.
Which for me too also was awesome because even though I'm not in the club, but still my sponsor asked me opinions, which is still kind of cool. So
you're in the club. I didn't send you one.
We told him I don't have the July or the August box. You guys are getting full on treats, man. But at the same time, like I said, I'm very happy that everybody's seeming to enjoy it. But what I would also like to mention about this too is I was looking on my Instagram. You guys that are like, I know quite a few of you are on Instagram and stuff. Man, y'all tag this Black Line stuff and help. Like I was saying too, help James grow his company, man. Like this, we're just being out there in the open and being honest. More people need to be involved in knowing what James is doing. So it's up to you guys to help spread that.
Man, last time you did that, you crashed my site, man. And you had me back ordered for like 4 days on boxes trying to get caught up.
So y'all go even harder and back them up, man.
No, please give me a week, man. We move out of this house on Saturday. I've got temporary housing lined up for 2 weeks. Then we're in the new house. So let me get out of this house first. Then I have a reason not to live with my parents for 2 weeks. And Never had to move home, but I'm going home for 2 weeks. But then we move into our house. So do it like next week so I don't have to be around my mom as much.
Yeah, y'all work the hell out of him, man. I like getting the pictures where his trunk is completely filled with white boxes. Y'all work the hell out of him.
It'll be another one on Monday. So
night watch.
I really enjoyed the first month. The Padrone, the Guardian, all those, like, those were, I don't think what was the
HVC La Rosa?
No, what was the other one? The Tempo. I had the Warped, because I had bought a sampler, I think, maybe a month earlier or something. So when I had it in the sampler, I was like, but that, once it sat around, I don't know how long, how many years?
He had some years
like
on that one.
3 years. Yeah, it was. There was a lot going on there. I liked them all.
Yeah, when I first took over Black Lion, one of the stipulations was there were probably 100 boxes in the humidor that I had to pull off the shelves because I have plans for them at some point. And I didn't know it was necessarily going to be a club, but I know the value of those cigars, and my mission to get them out to the community that values Black Lion mattered to me. And so I pulled a lot of those off right away. So,
or somebody asked what we're smoking. We're smoking the Tyrannical Buck Connecticut. That is the cigar of choice tonight.
Yeah, and so BNT for Life said, new smoker, so the bitter taste I get in Connecticut is common. Yes,
very common.
Very common.
Very, very common.
That's why there are some that it's bitter start to finish and not worth it, but then there are some that can blend in enough flavors that get around it. Ironically enough, Aladino, like I talked about, their Connecticut, it has a balance or notes of the lemon in there that I was like, holy, in a Connecticut lemon? It really, really helped keep, in my opinion, the bitter at bay.
Fred said this Hiram and Solomon Hincho Amano, pretty damn good. I'm impressed. The only cigar I've ever had from that company is the Traveling Man Lancero, and I really, really enjoyed that. But I know a lot of people are big supporters of that brand.
Yeah. So Mystical, the Unstolen Valor, it's not technically a second release. It's actually still from the same crop and the same grow. It just, once again, COVID, they couldn't get all of it rolled and produced and boxed and banded out the door at the same time. So it's from the same grow, same fields. So it's still the first release, just on different shipping schedule. So just so you know, if you buy a box or if you buy a couple and you want to sit on one, because then you can say you have an original release of the Unstolen Valor. So
I was going to say too, James, this might be a question for me. I don't know if you are wanting to answer it or not now either, but I know that we got quite a few people in the chat that are members of the Cigar of the Month, but there might be some that are not members of the club yet. So what's the mission? What's the mission for you? What's the goal for you going forward?
Ooh.
Or what was the purpose of you even starting the club?
Yeah, so I'm a blue collar guy. You can see him in a t-shirt. I don't have the prettiest hair, not the prettiest face. That's why I got Ron, and Sean shit now. I live to make these guys look good. But I appreciate the world of the Davidoffs, the Placencias, and the Atabates. And there was a point in my life where I could not afford them. And if I did, it was for the special moments. But I've always been a big believer in trying other companies and expanding my palate. That's just something that's always remained consistent. I've always been, like Ron said earlier, I've always walked in and grabbed 4 that I know, and I'll grab 2 that I don't. And I'll just explore and grow. So the approach to my club was to put 4 high quality cigars in everybody's hands on a monthly basis. That back to the tier. Here's the A. If you need something really good this month because it's your anniversary or it's a special moment, you can sit on that one until that time is here. Then you've got 3 others that help round out, all for a value around $55 to $60 a month, and you get it for $30. So
you're getting all these cigars at cost, man.
Yeah, and you really are. So I've said it, and I mean it. I don't make money on the club. If I do, it's very minimal, and it just goes to getting the cigars. Like, there are clubs on the market, and no shade to anybody, because all those clubs have paved the way, and they've allowed me to be at this point where I'm at today with this club. There are clubs that will just use and abuse you. They will lie to you out the ass, and they're saying, I'm getting these, I'm getting that. the value is not worth it. And you only know that when you're a smoker and you're like, this is shit, but I'm told it's great. Okay. There are some clubs that will just send you bottom shelf stuff, as we call it, and that's fine. I want a little bit of a mix in between. I want something that you can have an A, B, C, D, and I don't even call it D. You know, it's not a D as in failing. It's just that's the rank that I put them in. But I want a club that's a little more spread out and that the community can actually understand the value and they feel like they're connected to me because, like, oh, this is James's palate. He's recommending this. This club this month isn't 4 sticks from Padron. You know,
Right.
Padron didn't say, hey, you guys are awesome. I want all your members this month to have mine. I won't be that guy. I won't ever blow up a box because I got a great deal. Like, they can come to me and they can give me great deals, but it's only going to be a cigar that I want you guys to have because I think you need to have it or you need to try it. So a little bit different approach. I'm not going to try to sell out and hustle my way up to the top of the ladder on this thing. So kind of long.
And even at the same point, just knowing James too, like we've mentioned this before too, is this the club designed for everybody? No. But no club out there is designed for any particular smoker. You just have to do your homework, do your research, know what kind of smoker you are, and choose accordingly.
Yeah, and like my club is going to expand your palate, which is why like I gave this guy, listen, I gave Sean and Ron an early exclusive so you guys can know what one of it is with no strings attached. Sean could have said it's shit. I wouldn't have cared. Ron can say it's crap. I wouldn't have cared because that's the point of having these guys. Because I want you to see that I'm honest in my approach. I do my best on a daily basis. And this stick is different. It's not your typical Connecticut. And I want you guys to experience that so you don't always shit on the Connecticut world because they do play an important part in the balance of, like, you know, your cigars on a daily basis. But I also believe in this, what this company's doing. Like they did not pay me to do any of this. Like I just like what they're doing. So that's why it's out there. That's why we're doing this. So
right.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Philip. I'm not a traveling man, but shout out to you, brother. Mystical said, I enjoy every cigar in the first month pack, every single one. It's a no, the Black Lion Luxuries Club is a no-brainer. And that's what I was even saying, even looking from like people like Mystical, Brew Geek, there's a few other people I know personally, like this club is going to hit you. And that's why I said Mystical, I know you're not Mystical is along the lines of me. We like a lot of similar cigars. Like this cigar is not bad. And I know if you kept it and smoked it on your own, it's not a bad cigar, but I know what you like. And I know what you're after. And this, you'll be like, oh, it's a good cigar, but I prefer it such and such, or I prefer it this. I don't think anybody picked this up and just be like, oh, it's just a terrible cigar, it's bad. Because it's not. That's
the thing. I would be embarrassed if any of the cigars I ever send out, you do feel that way, because I'm not just putting in filler cigars like, oh, I need a 4th cigar. What do I have in my inventory that I can just throw in? Every cigar that was in last month's box outside of the Warped, which we had been sitting on, we ordered for the box. The 3 out of the 4 we ordered again for the box this month. The 1 we did not order because we had the inventory, because it is a very hot brand for us right now. So if you know what I've been pushing lately, what we've been smoking, you're going to know what it is, or you can have a guess as to brand and what it is. There are clubs that will just sit on cigars and use inventory because they have to clean it out, or like I said, they get a percentage off. Like, I would be surprised if we're not ordering cigars every single month to fill these boxes, which is how I know intimately that we're having problems getting some cigars from the warehouses.
Right.
So I say that to say, like, I'm not sitting on stuff that I just need to clean out of the inventory. That's not what you're going to get from this club.
Let me see make sure there's not any other questions too.
There was one I saw, and I think the message got retracted, but Scotty, I saw it. The answer is yes. I actually enjoy that a lot, Scotty. People will reach out to me with what they think they like, and then arrange, and then I'll take care of them. So it's actually one of the favorite parts of the job that I actually enjoy. It's how I got to know Ron really well. You know, Sean has ordered thank you, Sean has ordered from us a few times. So I'm, took care of him. And then when Ron was like, well, what would Sean smoke this? I said, actually, I think he would. He's got a really defined palate. I know what he's been smoking. I think he'll be able to give a very good, a review of this cigar. So Sean's one of those guys I got to know through the process too. So.
Right. And that's why I say too, in the future references, it could be anybody up here in Sean's spot, but definitely respect James' palate. Definitely respect Sean's palate. Like I said, we've grown to talk about certain cigars. I know what he like, or I know what kind of cigars he's after now, what he smokes. I know where he's at, so I definitely respect his palate. Another question I have for you too, James. Again, if you don't have to answer it if you don't want to at the moment, but I don't know if anybody's going to talk about it. So I'm not even going to ask you about how many members are in now, but I know you're speaking on trying to having quality in the club and making sure the cigars are good. Are you having because some clubs out there have thousands of members, some have are you planning on having a specific number, or are you just going to grow until you can't, or what's the plan for you, and why?
Yeah, considering I've got Sean in the room, I'll have to actually answer this appropriately. Because I would hate for a guy that does startups and I don't want him to think I don't have a plan. Yeah, there is a number. I think that number has been, or that target has been accelerated because of the buying issues we're having. I would anticipate in the next 2 to 3 months, if COVID continues at the rate it's going and the factories remain how they are, we will have to cap that number sooner rather than later. And by cap, then we're just going to hold for probably about 6 months till everything can reset, we can get going, and then we'll open it back up and then move to the original number. But yes, we do have a number. I do have a number in my head. Nick, the owner, has a number as well.
Gotcha.
We're in agreement on that number because the reality is there's only so much to be done, and I'm one man trying to do it all. Some days it goes well, some days it doesn't go well, and so I would feel terrible, and I do feel terrible on the days that I don't take care of the people that have entrusted me with multiple orders. And so I don't want to get to the point where I'm just having to lie through every email and be inauthentic. I have no problem admitting when I screw up and when I fail, but I don't want that to be an everyday occurrence anymore. So yeah.
Well, I mean, and I know Sean can speak on this too, but just even hearing you talk, like, that makes me feel very privileged that you guys have wanted to work with me for so long, knowing what I stand for, knowing what you guys do too. And like I just said, I know the club is not designed for everybody, but if you feel like if you have a place or you want to be a part of something special and you want to be around somebody that really truly cares about people, I think you should give James a shot, man. And I think it goes along the lines of every other club, right? It's not like you're signing a contract. You sign up, you get 2 or 3 months, you're not satisfied, you just back out of it, So.
And I did that exact thing. I hadn't done Cigar of the Month clubs before, purposefully because of friends with their experience with other bigger, big brand clubs or whatnot. And I sat on a club for a couple months and I was like, it just didn't do anything for me. Didn't really, the sticks that I was getting weren't great. I could have picked them up. Wasn't something that was too unique or otherwise sort of surprised me. I wasn't brought on to like sing the praises of James, but I will tell you guys, James has been fantastic. I have not. So I have worked in e-commerce for a long time. I haven't had the experience that I've had with James with anybody else. I mean, I got a phone call and emails on the first order that I placed because there was I don't even know it was an issue. I think it was just, I think I know what I did, James. We'll talk about it offline. I think I know how I did what I did. But it was a phone call and an email, and I talked to him on a Saturday afternoon, and it was sorted out, and there's no big deal. So I've kind of switched to buy only from James just in the past few months.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm there too. Like that's what somebody was asking me on Instagram the other day. And James knows this too. I go probably 2 or 3 times out a week and buy locally a few cigars just to kind of help support local B&Ms. But
have to.
I almost buy exclusively from him because and I could say this being completely honest, I'm not the easiest guy to work with. I'm very demanding on a lot of cigars. There's a lot of cigars I ask for that most people don't have. But James has been very accommodating for trying to search things out, or if he doesn't already have them. He's been there. He's just always been there for me. Like I said, I think I mentioned it before too. Very few times if I ask for something, he's like, I can't get it. But 9 times out of 10, he's like, we don't have it, but I know where we can get it from, and he just takes care of me, man. So it's like when a person goes that extra mile for me, it's like I want to make sure that I'm going to be supportive of them. So like I said, I told James that too. As long as James is with Black Line, I'm there, man. And that's kind of, I don't know if this will be for another live stream, but if people haven't noticed already, a lot of my more recent videos, I haven't had my other sponsor that I had. It's been completely Black Line now. So I wanted to shift my attention to completely Black Line. I wanted to give all my focus, all my attention to Black Line because I feel like they were giving 100% to me. So that's why I'm Black Line, man.
All right, now we can stop this because I don't like this part of it.
As he's
Herbie, I appreciate the
shoulder.
Herbie, I appreciate the donation, man. He says, I do enjoy the education and the men and ladies coming together like this. I appreciate y'all. Herbie, I really appreciate that, man. Like I told you guys, I don't take any of this stuff for granted. I like being able to be a part of building something or be a part of something that I feel like wasn't around when I was trying to get myself full on into the cigar community. So it makes me feel really good to be a part of this. And like I've said 1,000 times too, without all of you guys, I'm not doing what I'm doing either. So I don't take any of it for granted, man. I really appreciate all you guys for tuning in, man.
Man, Herbie,
James just. Oh, did you see Anthony's group hug?
Yeah.
Group hug, man. Group hug.
Herbie, we had a nice conversation this week. Don't ruin it, buddy. No, I'm kidding. No, yeah. So I promise you, Sean was not brought on here to do this.
No, I mean, truth be told, literally, Sean got on that's why we popped up a little late because we were talking for like 5 or 6 minutes. Sean got in a little late. We talked and we just got straight on. There was no ulterior motives. We just got on. And like I said, even when I pop in on my normal random morning, whenever I go live, there's never a subject matter. I just decide I want to go live.
Yeah.
So you guys pretty much, like I said, y'all don't have the ability to control the reviews or anything like that, but this is y'all's time to be able to talk and kind of control the chat, ask questions you want to. I know a lot of people have said they wish that my videos were longer, and I feel like the live streams give people a chance to smoke a cigar and talk and still get the content too. So it covers everything.
And so you guys don't realize this, but I stay tuned to the chat and I read almost everything, and I don't comment obviously on everything. Apologies, but I see the cigars you guys are mentioning. I make mental notes that I need to try that or I need to revisit that, and I use that to inform a lot of what samplers I make, even promotions that I'm pushing, or the club itself. So thank you. I mean this. To me, it's a very nice way to, it's kind of like a focus group, get that feedback without having to pay all of you money that comes to, behind one-way mirrors. So somebody asked, I think it was Mystic, I lit up the Crown Heads Tennessee Waltz. So
man, I love that cigar.
There's
another one that's on back order that John hasn't seen in over a year.
Yeah. So Ron, they want to know, I think, how did we end up together? So we were actually friends. We're part of a very small, intimate Facebook group that Ron's talked about previously. We were both in that. I had just come on board with Black Lion. He was still relatively new in his channel. I see the market trends. These big companies, they sponsor people, and I liked what I saw. Pretty good read of character, most of the time, I should say.
Except for when it came from me, you made a bad choice. But we'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah. And so I said, hey, Ron, I like what you smoke. We talk a lot, cigars. What do you think about making this official? Yeah. So, literally it was just that easy. I got, Ron had a couple other suitors, but I got in there early, treated them right as I think people should be treated when it comes to this. I've seen how other people reap the rewards, but then are also used in a type of way. And
that's the part they miss, James. We're actually friends.
Yeah.
We're friends. So we talk a lot about plans and stuff like that, or things that we think will help Black Lion become successful. But there's a lot of times that me and James talk and we're completely bullshitting about whatever it is. A lot of talks that has nothing to do with business or anything at all. We're actually friends, and that made my decision a lot easier to just sold. And like I said, there's nothing with any other sponsors or any other people that reached out to me but the friendship helped make the decision that much easier. It's like, man, I get a friend as well as a business partner. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, our sons, you know, so Quincy and my son Oliver, they spend as much time zooming each other with us, and you know, I saw Sean had some Rugrats running around there for a little bit, I think.
Yep.
So I thought maybe one of them would pop up here.
Oh no, we've got dogs. We have no
Is that what it
kids.
was? Okay.
It's probably neighbors walking by.
Oh, I saw the shadow behind you, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I was like, man, those kids are good. They know how to hide from the cameras.
Oh man, let me.
But I think that comes through. Y'all, I saw that too. Ron, the pinky up.
My bad, Mystical. My bad.
So I've watched what was it? March Madness, not March Madness, Cigar Madness.
Yep.
That was what came up in my feed. That's how I just literally stumbled across Ron. And I would say that for maybe the first or second time people who've seen your channel may not pick up on friendship, but it comes through. I mean, it comes through just in watching you guys live stream or what have you, comes through pretty clearly.
Yeah, we have a good time ribbing each other.
We do. Yeah. And I'm glad it does too, man, because you guys know I've tried to build my brand or my channel up just preaching in consistency, honesty, creativity. So I don't want to be preaching something that somebody feels like I'm completely being unauthentic about something. If I don't know something, or if I've never smoked anything, I'm not gonna lie about it and act like I have. Like and that's why I tell you guys, like, I'm not an expert, I'm not a professional. There's a lot of cigars I haven't smoked, you know, that you guys may have smoked. Memphis is very bad about like here in Memphis, there's nobody that carries HBC locally. Or other Viaje or whoever. Like, there's a lot of brands that just aren't carried here. So thankfully, I have a friend like James where if I reach, like, I don't even think about anything. I'm like, hey man, can you get this? Oh yeah, we already got those ordered. You know, all right, cool. So
small plug, HVC hotcakes already ordered.
HBC hotcakes.
They look delicious.
I will be in on that.
Yeah. So when we try a new cigar, how many do we buy? And what Vitola? Justin Jones asked that. So I'm at 2 cigar minimum every size.
I would say that too. If I'm gonna grab something and I don't know about it, if it's off the traditional sizes, they go in right. Usually they'll do a Gordo, a Toro, or a Robusto. I'm usually gonna grab the Robusto first. Now, if I see some lines that offer Corona Gordo or Lanceros, I'll grab those. But most of the time, you're gonna see a Robusto, Toro, Gordo. I'll smoke them all. Like, all right, so the Torch is a great example of that. 52 ring gauge Visionaries, 60 ring gauge, and then you have the 70 ring gauge. I've smoked the 60 and the 52. I want to smoke the 70, but I just can't do it. I can't do it, man. It's too damn big. I know, and I know it's a good cigar. It's too damn big of a cigar. I can't do it.
Whereas I started with the 70 and worked my way down.
And James will tell you off camera, like, he's like, man, you got to smoke. So I'm like, I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
And so, like, Sean's got a package.
we just had this conversation yesterday.
Yeah, so Sean ordered some Aganorsa torches. I was like, I can send you the other 2 sizes. He's like, no, I don't want the 60s and 70s. Like, trust me, man. Like, they did a very good job. Like,
they did, and I know they did, because the 60 is money. But I'm like, I can't do the 70, dog. I can't do it.
I listen. I will smoke it at least twice, and I'll give my opinion of it, or I'll put it in my head.
Shout out to brother Kevin too, man. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Kevin. Big Kev. Shout out to Big Kev.
Big Kev smokes a lot of big ring gauges.
But since he's known you for years, obviously. But obviously, that's another benefit of our friendship. Me and James became very good friends. Me, him, and Kev Zoom, and we talk offline a lot. And he became trusting of my palate and what I like and stuff, and he started venturing into small. James has probably been preaching this stuff for a long time, but sometimes you need that other person to tell you before you. And it's like, and James texts me, he's like, man, Kev smoking Robustos and Coronas now. Like, I couldn't even get him to smoke this stuff, man. And
Well, he needed a brother to tell him. He looked at me and he trusted me, but he's like, nah, James.
nah, I'm gonna stick with this 6x60, dog.
And he'll admit it. Kev's a good dude, but I will say, thankfully, it's helped our orders because now we don't have to buy like 5 boxes of freaking Gordos now.
And so there's a B&M here locally. They'll get a lot of newer cigars, but a lot of the smokers in there are 6x60s and bigger. So I'll walk in there and he'll be like, "Hey, Ron, we got new cigars." And I'll look at him like, "I'm not smoking that. Is the first blend. I'm gonna smoke of that cigar. I'm not smoking a Gordo, man."
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mac, I got you. I won't.
I actually started when I started buying sticks individually. It was all I think all Robustos.
mm-hmm.
And so I kind of lean that way. Sorry for the background noise. I kind of lean that way when I go out and want to try something new. I was just telling James yesterday, I had a couple of sticks recently that were 60s, and I was just like, man, it's taking forever. It was a massive smoke.
That's a commitment,
too
man.
much for me.
Have you had the Aladino Corojo Reserva?
I think I might.
It comes in a tissue paper in the bottom.
It's on the way.
Did you send him a Robusto?
Yes.
Okay, good, great. I cannot. When you smoke that cigar,
what I ordered.
Chat with me, Sean. I want to hear your opinion on that cigar.
Yeah, for sure.
Mystical said Corona and Toro are my go-tos. Churchill, if I love it and it's available. I like Churchills too.
Yeah.
Lee Mack actually mentioned it. I would love to see the Supreme Leaf in the Churchill Batola or Corona Gorda.
That's where I usually. Churchill is like the benchmark all set for blends. So just because I think there's still that stigma or mystique around the Churchill size because of Churchill, right? It's one of the most famous names in the cigar world. So I think companies that are willing to venture into the Churchill size and know they have to get it right. So that's usually where I start, in my opinion.
I've just recently started smoking Churchills, something a little bit longer, and I shouldn't say recently, but past couple of years, and really enjoyed them. Like
I love Churchills. Yeah.
Didn't think they fit my hand right for a long time, and I felt awkward holding it.
See, and I was a big Lancero guy for years, but now Corona Gordas have become my favorite Vitola.
Yep.
46, 48 ring gauge, man, and it's like the smoke time is right on the money. If I can get an hour and 10 smoke time and I'm enjoying it the whole ride, like that's it. I don't need 2 hours. Unless I don't have anything going on at all. Then the Churchill comes into play on that.
Yeah.
That's why I would love to see a Supreme Leaf in the Toro. Sean, did you get your hands on any Supreme Leaf Toros?
I did. I got so I actually ordered you mentioned Corona, I think.
Yep.
Corona sort of mistakenly I ordered a couple boxes and he sent me a couple sticks.
Yep, you told me about that.
I ordered 3 boxes and I got home and I was all excited and everything. I was like, all right. Then I opened this box, I was like, what the?
He opens it up and it was 3 cigars, not 3 boxes.
But you know what? Was great. I called their support line. I was like, hey, this is what happened. They looked it up. They didn't question me at all. They just said, it'll be there on the way. It'll be there on Friday. It's on the way. I was like, you don't need anything from me? You don't? I said, nope, done.
And they were there.
And they were there on time. So I went through
Shout out to Corona Cigars, man.
Yeah, they did a good job. I smoked through the 3, and then I got. Sorry.
Oh, you good?
I smoked through the. Yeah, they're on their evening walk. I sit out here. The Churchills have come in handy in the past couple months because I'll sit out here all morning long and smoke and work, and kids are coming by and everything. But no, the Supreme Leafs came through. I smoked the 3. Really enjoyed them. I've got the boxes showed up. They're resting quietly in the back. So we'll get to those eventually.
It's a great cigar. I think with time it's gonna get better.
Yeah, I really like their I hadn't actually paid any attention to their box. Their box branding is just on point. It is that,
and it's non-traditional. The colorway and everything is very untraditional. Pops. I love that, and I love the 10-count boxes.
Ron, you said recently you said somewhere said something to the effect of you always tend to gravitate toward the orange band or the purple band or whatever. I open up the humidor and it's what sticks out. So
you walk in a B&M and you look at the wall and that box just sticks out.
It's gonna pop. Yeah,
it sticks out, and it just so happens that the blend is just as good as it's just like it works, man.
Oh yeah.
Excellent job on marketing. Excellent job on the blend. They did a good job with that cigar.
I will say though, I'm not a fan of their label on the stick. It's just it's so large and it flips a bit because it has like a butterfly effect or whatever. So that's the only thing. Like, you guys could tone that down a little bit, but but it smokes good.
Hey, Sean, you can let Terrence know that when we're on the Zoom next week.
Yeah. I'll ask him if he needs any design help.
No, Sean. When I get my blend together, you know who I'm coming to.
Oh, you know what is funny? Well, I think it's funny. When I think it was your hoodies that came out, your bacon spice hoodie. I was like, oh, that is on point. Like, and I was thinking all sorts of designs of things you could do with that. That's it. I don't know who came up with that, but that was good. Yeah, it's good.
So it was one of those things. I felt like sometimes simplicity is going to work the best. So I didn't want to like overcrowd it. I was just like, just put the word and just put but I had the hardest time finding the right strip of bacon.
Yeah,
I didn't want a cartoony looking piece and stuff. So it was just like, but since he plugged it, I'll just go ahead and say it. We do have merchandise. I got the red shirt here too, man. I'll go ahead and put this up too. This shirt actually has done better than any of the other ones.
There you go.
That shirt has done better than any of the other ones. But so I want to say thank you to anybody that's bought a shirt, a hoodie. Really appreciate you guys. I still think it's really crazy to me because I tell Lee Mac all the time too, like before September of last year, like I literally would, and I still consider myself a heavy viewer of content. So it's just really weird to get DMs and inboxes about people that want your opinions on stuff. It's incredibly humbling, man. Incredibly humbling.
I just got to say, humbling. Okay. You can be humble, but, Ron, for you guys that are out there, like I've smoked for a bit. Ron has so much depth of what he smokes and what he's picking up on. I think Ron, your palate is a little bit similar, but you edge a little bit more toward the pepper, the spice, and a little bit stronger. I sort of come off of that a little bit, just a touch. But it's like, I trust you. And I've talked to a lot of folks and smoked a lot of cigars, and I can't say that about everybody.
Well, that means a lot to me because I was saying earlier, you and James both have smoked a lot longer than me, and James has been smoking 10 plus years. So it's kind of satisfying to know that somebody that's been smoking at least double the time you have, that they trust your opinion on stuff. So, but I think again, that honing in, just being honest about stuff. Just being honest. Yeah,
totally.
Just being honest. There are some cigars even still that James may love, and I'll smoke them. I'm like, they're okay to me. Or vice versa. I might be like, this is great. Like, I thought it was okay. But it's just the honesty is what I think carries the relationship over. Thank you, Lee Mac. And I think you do a very good job too. And this is on the record. Y'all know I'm very controversial about a lot of stuff I say too, but I'm gonna be honest, I watch a lot of reviews, but there's not a lot of reviewers' palates that I trust. Lee Mac is one of the palates I trust. Even though we don't agree on a lot of stuff, I know when he's saying something, it's authentic and it's real. I don't trust a lot of palates. And I'm on record saying that I watch a lot of reviews, but I don't trust their palates.
I'm with Lee Mac, and Sean put that hoodie on, and I'm like sweating even more.
It gets chilly. I got the fire going right behind the camera.
I mean, I have a sweat rag, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I appreciate that, man. He's a fantastic reviewer. If the Chief Lee Mac loves him, he's on fire, man. And that's the thing too. Me and Lee Mac, we laugh about it all the time. It's like because I started a channel, and just because he started talking about me because I have a channel, a lot of people still think that, oh, you just found Ron, or you were just like me and Lee Mac have been close for 3 or 4 years.
How did you guys meet?
I was just a viewer. And I knew the authenticity, and I could see it instantly. Finally, and it had nothing to do with skin color, but at the same time, it was nice to see somebody that looked like me that was doing it, because you don't have that. You have Cigar Obsession, Should I Smoke This, Cigar Vixen. There was nobody for me. So at that time, Puro Maduro had a trusted palate. Lee Mac, Charles Wallingford. I knew that these guys here were going to be straight up and down. So I gravitated towards that. And so I tell people all the time, if you love these channels and you love these people, support them and make sure that they don't quit. Make sure that the channel stays alive. That's why I'm a damn supporter of Lee Mac. That's why I support Smokin Preacher. That's why I support these channels, because I it's not me just talking shit. I actually love these guys, man. So Lee Mac will tell you, you can go back and look at cigars that I sent him from 4 or 5 years ago that he reviewed. Like, I've always been a Lee Mac supporter. So when I started my channel, it was second nature to him. Like, man, you've been supporting me for so long. I'm going to support you too. And it's just funny. People are like, how did you find Ron? It's like, man, y'all are years behind. Me and Lee Mac have been cool. I've had Lee Mac's phone number for probably 4 years.
I've still met him in person more than you have, though.
You have, but that's going to change soon.
I know. Well, and listen, I'll turn the tables and make you blush a little bit, Ron, as much as possible. I mean, like, listen, Ron and I were friends. We were in that same, small Facebook group. I didn't do it just because I wanted to be nice to a friend when I sponsored him. Like, I saw talent. I knew what I was looking at when it came to a palate and somebody that was unbiased and was willing to put themselves out there. Because there's not been in any second that Ron and I have been, friends and now business, I would call partners, right? But I've ever asked him to say, hey, I need you to say this about a cigar. Won't. I can't do that because it would undermine the relationship, which is why this to me was very critical to, like, you guys kind of continue to see the relationship, because we got some big stuff planned coming, that I hope you guys are really going to latch onto and jump into. But I knew what I was getting with Ron, which is one of the best cigar reviewers out there outside of the GOAT who's in the chat right now. But I mean that, like, no bullshit, no trying to keep my man happy so that he stays with me. No, I knew what I was getting. And I want a guy that's going to be honest about this community, because there are good cigars. There are bad cigars. You need somebody that's going to tell them to you. And you need somebody that's going to retro hell too.
Retro hell or die.
Yeah, you need to get that T-shirt made or hoodie or.
We're working on that, because I think somebody even commented in the chat. They were like, "Don't you think that's a little aggressive?" I was like, "Nope." I don't think you should trust a reviewer if they don't retro hell. Like, I will tell that to anybody in their face. If you don't retro hell and you review cigars, you're doing a disservice to the community.
Yep.
What's the other phrase out there? The calm.
Keep calm and smoke on.
Keep calm and smoke on.
There you go. Keep calm and retro hail.
Oh, that might be it, Ron.
Keep calm and smoke on.
No,
keep calm and retro hail.
Keep calm and retro hail. And I like what Mystical said: retro hail and live well.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
I'm more embarrassed. I'm reading this chat. PV, that's Prudence, right? That's Prudence.
Yes, that's Prudence.
She
that's
was
my
saying,
lady there.
Yeah, she said she went into the BM and they didn't have the Supreme Leaf, or they didn't know what it was.
Prudence, get a hold of me. I will make sure you have a few.
Yeah, I mean, so Prudence, I will be honest, like, so I can say this from kind of an honest standpoint. We only had one box of the Robusto and the Toro Supreme Leaf on the shelf because our shop didn't care about it. But I knew what I had. Obviously, I was like, Nick, I need to sell this. We can sell this online. Trust me. Like, and so the Toros were pre-sold out. I knew how many boxes we had a week out. Went through some of the customers that had reached out. They were all pre-sold. This time we finally had people asking for them. They sat on that. Ron got the last open box of Supreme Leaf because they were sitting on the shelf with the Robustos because nobody knew what they were in our shop. And so
so the Robusto didn't have the publicity. So I literally, this is nothing rehearsed. Like, I bought one box from James. I smoked them. I was like, damn. I messaged him 2 or 3 days later. I said, what do you have left? Or let me get one box left. And I think he had 2 or 3 left. I literally texted him 30 minutes later. He said, oh, I got 3 left. I said, yeah, let me get one. I thought on it. I was like, nope, give me all of them.
Yep.
Send them here. Send them all here. Because I knew that it was a great cigar. And then the publicity got there. And that's why the Toro had the craze that it did. Everybody slept on the Robusto. But then when Lee Mack, me, and Tim Rollins did a review, some written reviews came out, the hype was there. So I knew before the Toro released, I was like, this is going to sell out way faster than the Robusto. Way faster.
Oh, yeah. And that's, I mean, there was a reason I jumped on it. You know, we deal directly with Terrence, and I was like, how many are we getting? When can you tell me how many? Because, like, I know Ron's going to want a quarter of whatever that number is.
Facts.
You know, there were some other people in the chat who got taken care of. But it was just like, whew. So it doesn't surprise me, but it's still kind of sad to hear because at least our owner knew what it was, but we didn't carry it in the store because none of our customers want it in the store.
Lee Mack made a comment. I agree too. Like, as much as we are fond of each other, and and like, same thing with James. Me and Lee Mack talk all the time. We have a lot of cigars. And that's why I tell people, if me and Lee Mack, we have a lot of similarities, but there's some differences. So when me and him both agree on a cigar, that's the cigar you need to go pick up. But he was I like what Scotty said too. Damn, the chat's moving so fast. He said raise hell and retro hell. I like that one too.
So Sean, you don't have to say what city you're in, but there's a lot of people in the chat that are wondering what the heck, like where you are, that you have to put a coat fire on.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm trying to sit still, but I am shivering my ass off.
And I feel like me and James are the complete opposite. I'm inside my sunroom and I'm like, it's hot in here. And probably people are like, oh, the strength probably got to him. That's why he took his hat off. No, it's hot. It's not because of the cigar.
Somebody in the chat just blew you up. They said, what the heck do the buddy on the bottom lie? Why didn't he have a hoodie on in July?
I'm in LA. On the west side of LA. So it gets breezy in the evening. The wind kicks up for a bit and then it dies off and then it's comfortable. But today's been a little bit chilly.
Sean, I was born in Orange County.
Oh, were you? Nice.
Yeah. So we were supposed to be out there 2 weeks ago for family, but
so I have a question for you, James. So Supreme Leaf comes out. I mentioned this in one of the chats. Somebody absolutely agreed with me. Cigar drops are kind of almost getting to the point where it's like a sneaker drop.
Yep.
Oh my God! And you think cigars are bad? Step into the bourbon game.
Well, yeah.
You think it's hard to get cigars? Try to drink bourbon and try to get Pappy Van Winkle or the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection and not know somebody.
So how does that, James? How do you think that impacts the industry? I mean, because there's definitely in bourbon and sneakers and a bunch of other things. It actually I think in some industries it's had a negative impact. I get pinged that there's a shoe coming out that I want. I go to order it and it's unavailable everywhere. And it works for a little while. That drop release mentality works for a little while. And then at some point it's just a, law of diminishing return.
Yeah, I think, what you nailed it. What you said nails it. For as long as the cigar community has been around, I think there's been little innovation and or people in the front office, if I were to describe it like that understand the law of diminishing returns or kind of the more business approach to it. They think one way because it's all the industries demanded, and there's not a lot of youth when you look at the leadership of these companies. So in my opinion, it hurts personally. There's a reason why we didn't drop the Supreme Leaf on our site and said, get at it. What I was able to do was take care of the customers and or people who had taken the time to reach out ahead of time. I didn't want to just throw it up and have, if we had 40 boxes go to new customers that have never shopped with Black Lion before. I think that's a disservice to the Black Lion consumers and the community in which Ron and I live. So Ron funneled a couple people my way and he said, hey, these people are looking. So I took care of those people, right? So that's how I used it, which is a little bit different than how some of these other companies did. They just threw it up there, and if you got to it, you got to it. It doesn't matter if you've been a long-time customer or a new customer. Ultimately, and I will just, Ron, you're gonna have to use our code word here if I get too deep down the trenches.
White pants. No, I'm.
there was a cigar announced recently that the first people to have it they were not a brick and mortar, and they've been an online store for less than 6 months. That cigar still has not shipped anywhere else, but they have it. That is a huge disservice to the community, because you are not rewarding the brick and mortars that are struggling right now, and you are not rewarding the big online companies that have kept you in business for decades. And so this drop, unfortunately, in my opinion, really hurt the industry, and I let my feedback be known to the company directly. So I think you're going to see a shift, because right now, when everything is online and the brick and mortars can't get their hands on these drops, you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a reckoning coming for that, is how I'm describe it. Either that, or you're just going to have companies like guys like me say, we don't want to deal with you anymore if you're not going to treat us the right way. So
I'm laughing at Lee Mac. I missed the conversation, but Lee Mac said Prudence was sucking down Buffalo Trace like it wasn't hard to find. I agree. Lee Mac said, "Shout out to my patrons. They put me on several places that had the Supremely Toro facts."
Yeah, they did. You guys were very good about that. And Justin,
facts.
Justin, if I could get you Supremely for Bustos, I would. I gave up my personal stash to reward Lee Mac's 10,000 anniversary video. That didn't come from Black Lion. That came from the back of my humidor, because I have to bury that box so I don't look at it.
And I'm gonna tell you how unbiased I am. So Prudence was looking for that blue XO cutter that I got from Black Lion. Could have easily said, "No, just wait until they get another one, or just buy another color." I told Prudence about another place that sold it, gave her a discount code. So I'm telling you to tell you this. Even though I'm sponsored by Black Lion and I believe in Black Lion, and that's where I'm at, was at the end of the day, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Period. James shops at other places, so do I. We both smoke Cuban cigars. And I've even told y'all that numerous times. I'll tell Sean, he's exclusively buying from Black Lion, great. But if Sean messages me tomorrow and is like, "Man, I found a box of Plasencia Alma Fuertes for $80. You know what I'm gonna tell Sean? You better buy them, because James ain't gonna be able to do it at that price. Buy them. I'm not one of those guys like, "No, man, you need loyalty is important, but you don't want to be stupid either."
And my answer would be, because I did it, buy 2 boxes at $89, because you ain't gonna see that sale again for another year.
I did the same thing. Like, I'm buying them too, because I even looked at James, and I didn't. When I sent James the message, it wasn't even me trying to get the same price, because I knew he wasn't. It was me trying to talk to James about, "Man, did you see the price that they got on these?" Shit, I can grab some too.
And listen, I'll be honest. So you guys were talking about Corona earlier. I mean, I shop with Corona a lot. So from a business model perspective, they're an aspirational company that I work every day to try to be like. I think their customer service is the best in the industry right now. I think their website is clean and classic. I think they do a lot of things really, really well. And
you know me, it's on record. I'm a Neptune guy.
I know you are. And so it's one of those, like, I would not be with Ron if if he were only hyping Black Lion, because it's just, I know I can do things, I know I can't do things, I know I screw up, and there's always a place for everybody. And Justin,
what I like about Black Lion, they do it too. Me and Lee Mac have talked about this a lot of times. We both like websites that you don't have to be cornered into buying 5 packs and boxes. On Black Lion, you could buy singles. On Corona, Neptune, you could buy single cigars. Before I got with Black Lion, it wasn't uncommon for me to spend $150, $200 on a sampler from Neptune and just have completely different cigars. I like being able to buy one cigar or something.
Yep.
I don't want to. If I don't know about a cigar, why would you make me commit to a 5-pack or a box?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's like, so Anthony A in the chat. Anthony A works at a cigar shop in New York. He's on Long Island. Give him a look if you're ever up in the region. Anthony, can you throw the shop name up?
Shout out to Anthony A. Shout out to 253 Cigars in Tacoma, Washington. Travis takes very good care of me, man.
I was going to say, man, like, there's room for everybody here, and that's the beautiful part. But the good thing is we've created this community of like-minded people who are. I'm still a consumer. Like, I don't buy directly. You know, I don't through Black Line. I shop everywhere because I want to get what I can get. So, yeah.
Honesty, man. Can't put a price on it.
Justin, just email me. Like you've been doing, man. Just keep it up. Yeah. So Anthony just threw it up. So it's Jim Stogie in Farmingdale, New York. Another good shop. I've had the privilege of talking to Anthony a couple times. I think if you guys go up there, he's going to treat you right too. So.
And Lee Mac just commented and said, Black Line has great samples, and I have countless emails from people that have enjoyed those and have purchased. Lee, I'll call you tomorrow too, because we got to chat too. But yeah, man, and that's why I think that Lee Mac has had the success that he's had over the 6-year run he's had, because he's honest. And that's why I was telling y'all, you got to watch for the hook. Y'all know the title of the last live I did. You got to watch for the hook. Everybody's not honest, man. Or sometimes they might squeak in a little bit of the truth, but you got to be listening for it. I always tell you guys, you got 2 eyes and 2 ears for a reason. Look and listen, man. People will tell you what they're about if you pay attention. Pay attention.
James, I think, or not just for you guys, but in general, I think for me, the samplers, the sample packs and whatnot are great because a lot of these brands, like I've said earlier, it's like I've smoked for a bit, but a lot of the brands I haven't heard of. Mm-hmm. And so just trying to, introduce myself to new brands through samples and sticks. I usually don't go down the stick route, but I just lean more into boxes. But the sampler is kind of like a lead into that. That I've found myself going to. So I personally like the samplers. It's a good thing.
And I meant when I said it, when I hear you guys talk, I read some of the times I can't always talk or chat because I'm driving or I'm at the shop or something, but I read a lot. Like that Aladino taste testing sampler, right? Where you had the 4, you had the Cameroon, the Connecticut, the Corojo Reserva, Maduro, and then everybody got, the original Corojo in there as well. That was the first sampler that I was like, I looked at it a little differently, and I had all the same sizes. Normally in the past, it's like, okay, what do I have? What do I think people want? But I listened to you all many, many times, and I was reading, and that sampler did extremely well. So thank you all. But it was like it was a testing. It was a test for me. I was like, okay, let's see if I do this differently versus what I think you guys want. And so I appreciate that. So thank you all, because you forced me out of my comfort zone as that person, and it worked really, really well. And it was really cool to see all you fall in love with that Aladino brand too. And you're like, I get why this is going on right now. So
Dula had a great question too. He said, is Black Line Cigar Line a club also?
Yeah.
Me and James actually we've had conversations multiple times about this cigar, and I'm not going to give any more information about that, or we're not going to talk about that brand, but there's some cigars that they have in that lineup. Y'all be on the lookout, man. It's going to be this. Y'all be on the lookout. Y'all know we all working. You know we're going to bring y'all nothing but the best. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I thought he was saying this. Black Lion Luxuries is the online store. Then Black Lion Luxuries has a Cigar of the Month club, also Dula.
Oh, if he's talking about that,
that's my opinion. Or yeah, that's how I interpreted that question.
Because the Black Lion Star, this brand I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
Can't really disclose too much information about that. We got to get that stuff straightened out. But trust me, man, always working. We got nothing but the best for you guys. Y'all be on the lookout. Mr. Marvelous said, good night, Cigar family, tuning in late. Hope everyone had a great day. James, thanks for the XO cutter.
My pleasure, Mr. Marvelous. Glad it. Yeah, so we, it is what it is. We just don't carry Zycar anymore. So we clearanced everything out, and those who were lucky got them. Those who didn't, I do apologize.
Man, I got to find a way to get sponsored by the Jeep, man.
Man, will you just give me like 3 months, brother?
Dude, so truth be told, like, so I probably had, I don't even know if they do sponsorship at all, but I probably had about 6 months in, and you guys know how I feel about the Jeep lighters. They're based out of Europe. Reached out to them, and they were just like, and John Hubert already told me, he's like, man, because he's one of the few other guys I know that uses the Jeep lighters more than me, and he's like, wanted to do something with them, but you have to have a 10,000 piece order. I was like, well, shit, I can't do it, but maybe they'll sponsor me or whatever and send me some stuff. They're sealed tight like a bank, dude.
Give me some time, man.
If you can do that, James. And we're talking about a $2 soft flame lighter. But you know that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You got these huge channels out here, and it's like me. It's like people are like, you always use matches or those. Like, that's what I like, man.
That's what always makes me laugh. You pull that lighter out.
Oh my god, I don't have one on hand.
I have a Illusion one in my car, and I love that.
I love that the Jeep lighter, man.
And Mystic, you need to cool it with that Facebook group chat, brother.
Keep on going, Mystical.
So, Dula, it's Black Lion. I'll put the site. It's Black Lion Luxuries. It's not Black Lion. That's a completely different company.
Alex said, Ron, you need your own matches brand. Dude, Alex, it ain't even, I love matches, but if I can get a Ron Real logo, the Jeep lighter, that's the only thing. I don't care if I was in a windy storm in Chicago. That's the only thing you'd see me light my cigar with. Facts. I just got a lot of love for them, man, because they're cheap, they're durable, they're just great lighters, man. And I love Cigar. You guys know the EX windproof lighter is my favorite fancy lighter. This is probably my second favorite, the Executive 2, but I have more problems out of this than this. The Jeep lighter, it just goes, man. I can give it away at work, or somebody borrows it and doesn't return it. I don't care. Like they're $2 or $3. It's fine.
Hey, don't be giving away my Discord spot, man. That's like my private spot that I can talk to people, and I don't always have to be professional. I need those moments of escape in there, brother.
Alex, that's a fact. That's what we're gonna try to work on. Vertigo lighters are very dependable. I know people that use Vertigos. I'm just partial to Cigar, and what gravitated me towards Cigar is the lifetime warranty. I know they recently got taken over by another company.
Yep.
But was it Global Importers?
Yep.
Yeah, but I still like some of their products. I like this because it's very slim. It's not big, and I can throw it in my pocket. And it's a hybrid. It's a soft flame, but it's a torch at the same time. So that's just what I prefer.
Hey, Justin, Zippos, man. I defended Zippos adamantly the other day in a Facebook group because they were making fun of 50 Cent using one in a picture. And I was like, I threw up like 8 photos of master blenders. So I was like, that guy that made that cigar.
Was I one of them?
No, you were good.
No, but Mystical, so I think I can kind of speak for James on this too. The reason why there's not a Black Line, or there is a Black Line Luxuries Facebook page, but the reason why there's not a group page or a Ron Real page is because I don't want to be unfair to everybody else. I don't think I would be over there as much as people would think, so I don't want to start a page where I'm not around. I don't want a bunch of just admins running the page if I'm not there all the time. I feel like the live streams are easy. You guys get to see me. I can talk to you guys one-on-one. So I feel like for me, for lack of better terms, this is my Facebook group. So that's why I don't have a Facebook page.
And I'll be honest, I wouldn't check it. I probably wouldn't join if there was one because I don't.
You wouldn't need to.
Well, yeah, but I don't. My daily existence, and you can take this for what it's worth, is not getting the heaps of praise that the box was good. I'm very happy, obviously, and it makes me feel very good, but I don't need that hype in my life per se. Like, right. I grind a little different. I'm not a flashy guy. Ron's more of a face for Black Lion than anybody, than I am most of the days because I just don't operate like that. I don't need to be in it.
But how do you feel about the guy that's being the face of Black Lion that's in the V-neck white t-shirt most of the time?
I mean, Sean's dressed nicer than both of us right now.
So I'd be curious if folks are still in the chat to see if anybody else feels this way. So Ron, while I like you, James, while I like you, there's people in the chat that I would love to like just have a conversation with. And the only opportunity we have to do that is when there's a live stream, whether it's
Right.
Mac's channel or anybody is doing a live stream. So that would be the only thing I would say to think about is having a space where there is a conversation that's ongoing among the community, Ron Real Army or BLL Army or whatnot. Something to consider. Being able to have a conversation with Mystical or I don't know Justin or any of these guys that are folks that are in the channel, in a non-streamed environment might be kind of fun.
So I would say I'm probably like James too. Like I know that this kind of corners people because everybody doesn't have that too, right? But if you have an Instagram account, anybody that could tell you I'm on Instagram if they ask me a question or they want to talk, like I'm there. Yeah. It's times when I literally wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm talking to people at 6:30. So, but I like that though. That's cool. Like I'm not 100,000 subscriber.
It works.
It's still intimate for me. Like even though the channel's growing, I'm still at an intimate level where I can still be really personal with a lot of people, and I liked it because I feel like I'm getting to know these people. So that's very important for me, and I feel like that's been a catalyst for the success I've had. Mm-hmm. It's too easy to just follow a channel and just watch them. But how different is it to follow a channel and then to talk to the person and be like, man, I could just talk to Ron. And that goes to what I say, like, I'm just a regular guy.
Hey, Ron, how much of that wine have you had tonight?
I'm going to clear this bottle before tonight. I'm going to tell you that now, though.
So, Mr. Philip Johnson, good to see you. Said, Ron, sounds like you've been promoted to CCO, Chief Cigar Officer of Black Lion Luxuries. Do you want to go ahead?
Man, I'm just gonna tell y'all, dude. Y'all, hey.
You can go ahead. Do you want to drop it or do you want to wait?
Fuck it, James. We'll drop it, man. We'll do it tonight.
Oh man, I don't know. Now I got the hook out there and I don't want to though.
Most people that are paying attention probably already know.
All right, so if y'all haven't realized, we close. Ron and I, we talk every day. We do a lot of things. We're trying to grow together. Starting in September. Well, fuck it. It started in July. Ron Real.
I've been behind the scenes the whole time, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to I don't have the fancy press release, which is what I know we both wanted.
Well, we still can release one, but there's only how many people are even in here? 54 people.
So Ron,
like I said, the people that know.
Yeah, so there's curators, there's ambassadors. Nike does the ambassador shit. Ron is the godfather of Black Lion of the Army. So Ron is and actively will be your curator of the cigars in the Cigar of the Month Club. So Ron has the goal of becoming a blender, and I couldn't think of any other way to help him get there and mutually grow together than by allowing Ron to be involved in the process with myself to pick out your cigars. So that Padron 90th, that was Ron. That wasn't me asking Ron. That was Ron, me telling Ron, what does he want? All 4 cigars are handpicked by Ron and I. They're blended. We talk about them. We are in early stages of creating Black Lion Luxuries cigars, custom blends that Ron will be involved in to help him achieve his goal. That is the news that Ron and I have been sitting on. We were going to wait a little bit, but fuck it. We're having a good time. Sean's on.
Sean's on. I wouldn't. Man, Lee May could be in right now. It's probably about as best as it could get.
Yeah,
but he's in the chat. So this is good.
But the thing with Sean brings this element of business that always gets me critically thinking when I don't want to be at the end of the night. And so when he's talking about touch points and the non-Zoom and the non-live, I was like, shit, most of these people don't know that Ron has been touching them if they got that first box. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ron Real is the godfather of the Black Lion Army and Black Lion Luxuries. And he has been an active participant in curating all the boxes that you have gotten and you will be getting, and he will be involved in the blends that Black Lion will be doing. That's the
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice. Nicely
you.
done.
We just sat down, we talked for about a week or two, and it was a very easy choice because of the friendship that me and James have. But
did you hear that?
I did. But no, but what's very significant about this is Black Lion was able to put me in a position that no other cigar reviewer is in right now. I was a member, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's other reviewers that are unboxing for people and they just get a box and tell you what they got. I'm going to be the guy that's unboxing, but at the same time, when I'm doing the unboxings, I'm the one that's putting up cigars in the box. It's me. So
it was intentional. When I talked about launching this club, I mean, Ron was literally the first phone call. It was answering the question of why, right? Why does Black Lion do this other than, you know, there's 20 other companies out there. We're not a top 5 company yet. That shit's changing. We're going to make some noise. But no other company has a content creator who has goals to be a master blender, to move into the industry in this capacity. Nobody else is going to do it for the people, for the army, for the community. They're doing it for themselves. This, literally, when I say I make no money, it's because we're not. This is for Ron and I to grow and you guys to be a part of that growth with us. So.
And that's what I was saying too, even about these discount codes and stuff. I was being 100%, still being 100% genuine. Sean can tell you, I don't make any money off these codes. That's why it's very vital for you to share. If you believe in the company like I do, if you believe in James like I do, that is why it is very vital for you to share the page, share the club, share your experiences with Black Lion, man. We're trying to create something in a world that's so saturated. We're trying to be the diamond in the rough, man. So,
yep.
When me and James talked, it was very easy, and I'm very excited. I wouldn't want to be doing this journey with anybody else. And again, James, thank you for giving me the opportunity, the time, and the space to be able to do this. This means a lot, and I know we'll be able to look back in 3 or 4 years and just be able to look back at the empire that's being built, and there won't be anything that needs to be said. It'll just be a smile. That's it.
Yeah, Ron and I have meant it every step of the way when we've been saying we're different. This club is different in that capacity, that is actually helping people achieve goals and getting, you know, you guys are going to be the first people to get this, hopefully, next stick for the next 40 years or something like that.
And I'm on record saying I don't give a damn what other group you're in, what other party you're in. If y'all think y'all seen some smoke or y'all think y'all seen some traction, you ain't seen shit yet. You just wait.
So
if you think my first 10 months was hell, you just wait.
So you heard me say the Godfather, but obviously because, you know, we're smoking cigars, it's got to be in Spanish. So El Padrino, it will be henceforth how we'll refer to him. But, you know, the Godfather was just a nice, clean way to put it out there, because y'all have seen Ron's influence. You felt it in the samplers and some of the other stuff that Black Lion's been doing. It would be a disservice not to give him that title and that name and just calling him an ambassador or curator, because that's not what he is. He's genuinely involved. He genuinely, you know, makes sure that you guys are taken care of, that if I drop a ball, he's there to pick it up and make sure y'all are good. So,
and that's why I don't like calling y'all fans, subscribers, subs. You guys are just as important as me. The Run Real train doesn't go unless you guys are going. That's why I said the army is strong. We're getting stronger. Y'all got to give these folks hell, man. Y'all got to hashtag. Like I just said, if y'all think I went hard this first 10 months, it's finna be on. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be on.
So spread the word. So go ahead, John. Go. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, in watching your channel, Ron, early on, and you mentioned that you wanted to blend. For me personally, that was the hook. The hook was this isn't just a guy that just is on YouTube, just wants to do this. He has another idea. Where the space I live in and work in, and that's what I look for is that particular thing. Like, oh, okay, this person wants to do that. The team I build and building, I'm always asking people, what are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? How are you trying to get there? How do you break it down? So well done. Keep it moving.
We're going places, Sean.
Happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I
Glad
know
to have you.
I mean, I'm loving all the chat, the feedback, Ron. They're loving it. And I just hope you guys realize what we're doing, because it is different. It is a company trusting somebody who has no financial stake, who's just a face that, you know, was considered a face, but he's not a face, because y'all can see he's been deeply involved. It's kind of turning over the keys to something that's an intimate process that I've hung my hat on, but somebody that, like I said, I know, I trust. Our kids like each other. It's a family approach. So, Ron, some people just don't want a horse head in their box, since you're the Godfather.
Hey man, I ain't gonna put no bullshit in there. I'm not gonna say you're gonna agree with me every month, but at the end of the day, you'll be able to respect the choices. And y'all know me, man. Sean's been watching y'all. And another thing, if y'all thought Cigar Madness 2020 was something, wait till you see 2021. I already have 90% of the field pick. And James can tell you unbiased, the list is better than this past year.
And that last 10%, how it's going to get there, you're going to want to be involved. Let's just put it that way.
David James is giving me a rough time for not speaking up. Wow, the guy in the hoodie speaks.
That's what they're gonna refer to you. Hey, it's the guy in the hoodie.
The guy in the hoodie.
Sean, when you speak, though, you're dropping knowledge, man. You're like, you say one sentence and it's worth my whole like half hour.
Andre, I appreciate that, man. I take this very, very seriously. I told you guys before, even as far as doing reviews or anything, if I'm going to be in something, I'm going to be in it at 150%. I fully plan on being the best I can be for myself, for Black Line, for you guys. I plan on being the best version of myself that I can be. And I hope y'all can take my words in all seriousness, but
sorry,
I know they going in on you, Sean. I know.
Lee Mac just
the hoodie guy. That might stick, Sean.
Shit, I love it. Yeah, so kind of back to that earlier question where Ron asked about how many members. It's going to be smaller because of you're not getting shit, because we're not going to allow it and Ron's not going to allow it. So that number is going to be smaller because we want to maintain the quality that we've set the standard. And it's really fucking nice to finally say we and not me.
I got tired of saying
James.
James, BLL.
Or people like, and I'm gonna tell you how bad it was, Sean. Like when James released the information about the club, somebody commented like, "I know Ron has something to do with this," and he was just like, no. And he texted me, he was like, "That was so hard to say." So it's nice now, like, because he has to correct me a lot of times too. Like people will be like, "Oh, I just joined the club and stuff," and I'll make a mistake sometimes. I'm like, "We appreciate you giving us an opportunity," and I have to correct you. But now, guess what? I can speak freely.
Yeah, there you go.
So James, I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna say is I'm sorry.
Let it fly. Let it fly, baby.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, so I mean, hopefully nobody will take this the wrong way, but in terms of like you guys coming out and saying this in this conversation actually carries, I mean, with the chat and that sort of thing, actually carries a lot of weight. It was you heard it here first. This is where you started. This is your origin story. This is like how it sort of evolves. So you mentioned press release or something like that earlier, or trying to get the word out, that sort of thing. It's, I don't know. I work with this stuff a lot, so like having this kind of evolution is not a bad thing. So do the splash, but this is good too.
It's
we
coming
still
up.
will too, because everybody's not tuned in right now. Everybody might not watch a 2.5 hour live or whatever. So I'm sure there will be
We definitely buried the lead on this one.
We did. But then again, if you know me and James, that's just kind of happens. It's just like whatever. Like
I mean, the way I'm looking at, there's been about 55 people since we started this reveal. Those are the 55 that have probably hung in this whole time. I think that's the absolute group that should have heard it first.
I agree 100% because I'm looking at the people in the chat, and those are the people that I want there.
Lee Mac's telling us to shut up. He wants Sean.
Philip,
Hey, Fred, hey, Sean, you just gonna have to embrace it because it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick.
I messaged my wife. I was like, "Can you bring me a hoodie?"
The hoodie guy speaks.
I texted her twice. Like, I'm freezing.
I love it, man. But this is the epitome of the community we're in. It's just fun, embracing everybody. This is why I do what I do, man. This is it. And Lee Mac can tell you, 5 or 6 years ago, we didn't have this.
Nope.
There was nobody doing lives and stuff like that. And there are the bigger channels doing lives, but it's not intimate like this. You don't chat with the people that you have. You know, we all know it, man. You got 100,000 count channel, 60,000 count channel. You got 300 or 400 people in the chat. You can't talk to everybody. It's just the reality of it. Yep. There's 40 or 50 people in here. We can talk to everybody.
But I like Pimp Daddy Sean because he needs a fur coat time. That's a pretty good one. Mystic drop that one in.
Yeah. I'll get the scarf out.
I like it too, man. The hoodie guy, man. I'm a fan.
I'll tell you what. You can. So I'm out here in the morning. I have a cigar, and I kid you not, I'm watching Lee Mac or I think Cigar Head is. I'm gonna tell you
right now, and this is on a recorded live stream, and I don't give a damn who hears it. Pound for pound, me and Lee Mac are the best cigar channels on YouTube. I said it. So
all right, I thought I was gonna have to pull you back there. Let Sean finish, man.
Nope. No, I was just gonna say that I'll be watching Ron in the morning or whomever else, like Lee Mac or like I'm catching up with all of you guys, replays, live streams. I'm probably one of those few people that are actually watching the full replays, like end to end. I do watch them on sped up so that I can get through them all. But in the evening, I'm out here again with the hoodie up.
Like, hoodie guy.
2-3 cigars in into the evening with the hoodie up. catching up with you guys. So
hey, everybody in the chat, I defend that in court too. The numbers speak for themselves who the two best reviewers are. I said it.
Yo, go put your white pants on.
I got some gray sweats on right now.
Mystic says I gotta shave my head.
Dude, I love this hoodie guy. I love them.
So Mystic, man, there was a reason I didn't do these lives until recently because I did shave my head during the pandemic, and Ron.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
It was so bad.
That was horrible.
So I went to this, man, like I love my luscious red hair, right? I'm all the fuck about it. Like red hair, man, bring the jokes on because I got a fucking full head of hair that's not going to go away. And when you're bald, no offense, Ron, Sean, I'm still going to be rocking some hair. I grabbed the wrong clippers and I used my beard clippers instead of like hair clippers.
He posted that shit in Perfecto group.
It was down to the nub.
I'm not
classic.
I'm not starting with you tonight, man. I'm not doing it. I'm enjoying the rest of my M22.
Had you been drinking? Like,
no,
how do you...
James doesn't drink.
I don't drink. I just screwed up.
But you know, when you save and you have to fully when you start and you mess up, you got to commit. You just got to go ahead and take it all off.
Yeah.
So man, I'm curious. Where did you just like go straight to the middle? Damn. Sorry about that, guys.
Man, hey. Shit, Sean. I might have to do it. Sean, I might have to do a hoodie God's shirt, man.
So, Sean, I have a standing 3-week appointment with my barber. My hair grows, and it just grows.
Does it?
Yeah, and like I like the way I look with my haircut, so I got no problem with it. I was on 3 months, man. So I'd missed three or four appointments. It was bad. I was like sweating my ass off mowing. I mean, I sweat a lot anyway, but it was like just over the edge. Man, it was just gone. And we prefaced it because we had a buddy, Big Kev, who shaved his beard all the way off too. Man, he had a beautiful beard. He shaved it down too, and I was like, well, fuck, if he did that, I'll do it. And then I just fucked up.
I might try to steal a picture and put it on the Patreon.
No. Listen,
I ain't gonna do that to you, man.
If you do that, I'm gonna fucking SoundCloud your whack ass rap video or track.
Yeah, I would actually like to hear a
Sean, I'm gonna send it to you. It ain't that bad, man. He used to listen.
I was gonna ask you.
He used to listen to Drake and shit. That's the problem.
Get off Lupe Fiasco all day. Get off my shit.
Okay, Lupe. All right, I ain't no damn Lupe Fiasco. I know that, man.
I can't even listen, Ron. I love you, and I'll be honest. That track was shit, man. You weren't in time.
I was 20 years old.
You were rapping about some stuff that just wasn't relatable.
Sean's gonna hear it and say I was nice, man. Damn, that watch.
I was gonna ask you to freestyle.
No, you don't want that. It hurt everybody.
That's gonna hurt, Sean. That's gonna hurt.
Lee Max says your rap wasn't that bad, but he blames your wife for having to knock it off.
I ain't that bad, man. James, hey man, look,
you ain't that good either.
I know I'm a better cigar reviewer than a rapper. This is undisputed. I'm not gonna argue that. But as you hear the stuff on the radio, I'm better than like 40% of that stuff on the radio.
Well, yeah, at least you weren't auto-tuned. I'll give you that one.
Sean, I will forward you the emails. I'll send you the tracks over.
I'll make sure they are kept in private.
Oh, you can release that shit, man. I don't care.
Oh shit.
This has been informal. I'm glad everybody's
raps.
I'm sorry, Justin. Hey man, look, man. I'm glad everybody's enjoying this, man. We like I said, we didn't have a plan of how long we were gonna be up or how long we were gonna be smoking or whatever. And that's what I was saying earlier. The chat is the one that feeds the live stream. This is y'all's chance to ask questions or whatever you guys want to do. So it's all fun, man.
All right, I gotta sign off. I gotta keep packing my house up.
Good luck with that, James.
It was a pleasure, man.
Likewise, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for the smoke.
That is crazy that it's still daylight where you're at right now.
Yeah, the sun just set. It's about to get really cool. I've been shivering for however long we've been on here, but it's about to get chilly. I'm going to go find another stick and hang out for a bit. Catch up on all the other channels.
If anybody wants to hear the raps, email me at mccoy.ronald@gmail.com. We're going to shut James down. I wasn't that bad. I was nice. I was nice. I was nice. I was nice, man. Damn what James saying. I was nice, man.
They will never call you the Godfather again.
But no, I've had a great time, man. I know, like I said, this is Saturday night. COVID's going on, but y'all could be anywhere else doing whatever y'all want to do. I'm just completely grateful for you guys tuning in, and I can't even put into words like just how I'm feeling right now and just what's going on, man. Like this is a big fucking deal, man.
Yeah. So to everybody in the chat, you'll see some more official stuff coming out. We're gonna roll some stuff out, do it right, like Sean talked about. So Instagram, email, Facebook, it'll be out there. So since you guys are on the early adopters, you know what's going on. When you see that stuff, share it, tag, send it. I mean, Cigar Aficionado, Half Wheel. Let's make some noise with this as we're trying to do different things, and we're trying to make sure that we're taking care of our brother of the leaf, Ron, and that you guys, you're in it now. You've seen the work after 1 month, what his involvement looks like. So do me a favor, when that all goes live, tag all the right people, get that out there so we can make sure Ron continues to grow along with Black Lion, but he gets closer, one step closer to somebody give him a shot to blend once he gets done with Black Lion, because I know that time's going to come, and I want him to be the right company that treats him well. So,
and James already knows this too. Like I said, I'm Black Lion for life, and even if or when I do start becoming a blender, whatever company, like Black Lion's always going to be there. So, man, dude, like I said, hate to get all misty and stuff, man, but it's really important to me because who else is gonna give me an opportunity like this, man? So thank you, James, for what you do, man. Continue to do what you're doing for the community. I'm gonna be there the whole way, man.
hey, we got this. We got this.
On a serious note, man.
I'm super looking forward to it, guys. You guys are a good time. Lots of good info. A lot of I've heard James and both Ron for weeks. We got big things in the plans. We got big plans. I've been on the edge of my seat. I know everybody else has been as well. So good for you guys. I'm glad to see it coming together for you guys.
Well, thank you, Sean. You've been a big supporter of Black Lion and Ron. So yeah.
Yeah, man, Sean, it doesn't go unappreciated, man. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that talk a really good game, and there's people that do it. You've been doing it, and like I said in private, I'll say it in public. If there's anything you need from me, just ask, man. I got you. So thank you again for that, man. Thank you for all the support you've done for me and for Black Lion. And everybody out there in the chat that's been supporting too, I really appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah. So if you want to be one of the next people to do this, send Ron or I a message, and we'll get that in the works. Continue to grow and reach new levels of success. So thank you, everybody.
Y'all take care, man. Y'all already know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment, and y'all already know the name of the game, man. We're gonna finish it out with this. Y'all be driven and never motivated. We're gonna catch y'all in this next stream. Y'all be good. Love y'all.
Peace.
See you guys.